They got some big boys.
Whitney Young football is on the air. We're joining you here from Perspectives Leadership Campus on the south side of Chicago, 85th and Dan Ryan,
Basically, Lafayette.
Yep. Joined tonight by Scott Clayton again on the call. Scott, good to have you around.
Good to be here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, great Chicago weather right now. A little warm during the day, but just a little bit cooled off a little bit. But this is perfect football weather for us here.
Hopefully everybody hydrated. We don't have any cramping incidents like last week.
Yeah, we had a little bit of that at the end of the game last week against Hope. I'll say our vantage point is slightly better this week. We don't have a giant coach's box in our way to contend with. We don't have trees to contend with. So for all of our viewers out there, just want to let you know that we apologize for the setup we had, but that was all we had. We didn't have much of a choice where we were plugged in. So today we are on the still not a whole lot of height here. I think we're on about the 6th row of the bleachers at Leadership Perspectives home field here, and we've got about 17 minutes on the clock counting down. Scott, let's talk a little bit about today. Let me before we get into Coach Finger's interview, Perspectives is a team that we faced a few years ago in a homecoming game. It was a Whitney Young 46-0 win. Entirely different team that we're seeing this year from what we saw 2 years ago. I mean, this is a team under Terry Jones. I think it's his 15th year. I saw him on the way in. 15th year head coach. He's got 56 wins to his name at Perspectives. He's got 3 state playoff appearances, including last year in 6A. Perspectives Warriors went 8-2, qualified for the playoffs. So definitely a strong team. Bring back a lot of guys. One of the leaders in that group is number 3, Tyrell Lockett. Lockett is a senior wide receiver, free safety, 6'3", 185. He earned honorable mention, all CPS recognition last year in 22, and he is ranked as the number 23 wide receiver and number 76 overall prospect in the Illinois 2024 in the senior class. And you're going to see a lot of him tonight in a lot of different areas, and we're watching him catch right now. You see that big frame. He runs a 4.5. To me, you're thinking about people that we've seen over the years. He might be a little bit like a Cam Pickett from Brooks a couple of years ago. If you remember, Cam Pickett was a D1 kid. He's at Ball State now, and I think Tyrell Lockett is that sort of talent that they have. So the Warriors opened last week with a convincing 36-20 win over King, and so they're looking to try to put that together tonight. Now, conversely, we've got our Whitney Young Dolphins coming in here. If you tuned in last week, not the way we wanted things to go, huh, Scott?
In the first half.
Exactly.
I'll give you the second half was a vast improvement, and statistically, we won the second half.
Yeah, and I have a few of those stats. Let me take a look at those right now. So if you were around, 40-0 first half. First 2 times we touched the ball, we fumbled the ball, didn't get a whole lot going. And Hope is they're a great team, right? And so they took advantage of great field position. They took advantage of the skills of Eddie Jenkins Jr. at quarterback, Lofton at running back, a couple of the different wide receivers, West and Stuckey. Second half, so we roll into the second half down 40-0. But you're right, we won the second half. We're going to be optimists here. We won the second half 14-13. I was looking at some of the stats and some of the things that happened as part of that game. In the second half, the passing game, and we'll get to Coach Finger's interview in a second, and he brings up the quarterback play in the passing game, but Bennett Newman was 9 of 13 for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second half.
Quite frankly, they looked like a different team. Their execution was vastly better.
Yeah, and a big adjustment that they made, which is interesting as well. It was at halftime, they changed up their protection scheme and took the running back from having to guard that inside B gap and put him in a spot where he could chip and then get out for a pass. So I'll read you the receiving yardage from some of those running backs, and that all came in the second half. Yolich, 1 catch, 18 yards. Joseph Clayton, 3 catches, 44 yards. 2 of those on for first downs. And then the big end of game play, the pass to Maxwell Warner for a 29-yard touchdown. So out of the running backs, almost 100 yards on those passes where after changing that scheme, Newman had that as an outlet for him to look at, and also, athletic guys. So we saw that when the ball was in Luke's hands and Joseph's hands and Maxwell's hands. We need to do that again today, however that happens, right? So if the run game doesn't get started like it did last week, the ability to get the ball to those guys in space and let them use their speed and athleticism is something that was an added dimension to the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah, the in-game adjustments, I think, have to come a bit quicker. And credit to the players, because it's my understanding that they, and Newman specifically, went to the coaches and said, "Hey, can we try this?"
Yep, you're right about that. You've got the inside scoop on that as well. So it was something that was discussed throughout the first half, and I think it was just something that as the game progressed, Coach Eddie Boucher, and I give him credit for, it's like taking the input of your players and making that happen. So that's a little bit of the tale from last week. I'm going to, right now, let's pull up the interview from Coach Finger. I caught up with him yesterday after practice. So let's hear what Coach Finger had to say about today's game.
All right, I'm here with Coach Dan Finger of the Whitney Young Dolphins. Coach, week 1, a little bit of a tough one. What was your impression of the game?
We just I didn't do a good enough job getting everybody ready to go from the first snap, and we had some turnover issues and some assignment sound gap stuff issues defensively, and we just weren't ready to play in the first half, and so I didn't get our guys there to do that, and we just we rallied pretty well in the second half, and we figured everything out, but otherwise we struggled to do that in the first half. But I was happy with the way our guys came together at halftime. We lost a couple of key guys, and some guys stepped up, and that was really exciting to see some older guys who maybe weren't expected to play that much get in there and do really well with their opportunity.
All right, so we move on to week 2. Perspectives, not a team that we faced last year. What are your expectations? What have you seen on film? What do you think we're going to be seeing today on the field?
Yeah, they've got some really dynamic athletes, and they're going to have some good size up front. But, we played them a couple of years ago, and we played a really good game. And they had a great year last year. I think they were 9-1 and had a really, really comfortable win week 1. So we're expecting to see a pretty consistent zone run game from them offensively, with some RPOs and a couple of deep shots here or there, and maybe some trickery tossed in. But they're going to put the ball in the hands of their running back and their quarterback, who are good players. And then defensively, it's another 3-down front for us, which is nice. But we're actually going to see a lot more man coverage this week, which is different than we saw last week, and a little more typical of CPS. So that's exciting for our receivers and our quarterback and our offensive coordinator, frankly, to scheme up some man beaters and get to use stuff that we put in early in the summer and we didn't get to necessarily use a lot in week 1. So that's what we expect from them and from our guys. A lot of different guys are going to be playing this week. A lot of guys are getting opportunities, maybe even at different positions. So we're really excited about that. They've done a great job in practice this week, and we're ready to see them sort of take it into competition.
All right, very good. On each side of the ball, just reflecting on last week, some guys that maybe stood out to you and you think are going to be key to the success today.
Definitely. I thought our quarterback play was good, not great last week. It's tough when the running game isn't there and you're down early and you're kind of throwing into a lot of coverage, just because when you're down and you're chasing points like we were in the first quarter even, that makes it tough. But we're excited for our quarterback play this week, and our receivers, Anthony Hood and Nazir Rankin especially, are going to get a lot of targets this week. And then our run game, we're expecting to get going. We're going to ride behind our horses up front. We got Juan Spada back in there. at right guard, so we're excited for that. And, a 3-year starter for us, so it'll be good to have him back and have a little more experience in that O-line unit and to get our running backs going. They each had actually very good games catching the ball out of the backfield, not great games running the ball. So we're expecting to run the ball better and continue to use them as athletes in space, and we're excited for that.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, Coach. Go Dolphins.
Thanks, Barry. Go Dolphins.
All right, so Coach Finger mentioned wants Cepeda back in the lineup, which is great, man. So that puts our starting O-line on the field. I will say, some solid performances filling in last week, but Nick Dale anchoring that line in the center, MJ Woods at left tackle, Baba Nefesimi Opedele guard, Cepeda at the other guard, and then Jason Perez at the right tackle position. Actually, I think I got the guards flipped there. But anyway, I mean, those guys, you've got 2 seniors, 2 juniors who have played since they were freshmen. MJ Woods, a sophomore, who's played every game starting at left tackle since freshman. So that's a good core, and we're going to want to see those guys take it to the Warriors hopefully tonight and get that run game going, as Coach Finger mentioned. I think if Coach Finger also mentioned some of the guys missing, and our injury list is long. Let me try to do it off the top of my head right now. I guess I'd say the upside of this is that the guys that are injured, hopefully none of those are long-term. Hopefully we're talking week to week with most of them. Off the top of it, Quinn Duhan is out tonight. Quinn is a guy that gives us a lot of support on the back end from his safety position. Didn't play a lot of offense last week, but of course as I get further into the story, would have been a huge contributor tonight on offense. But he's out with a hamstring, hopefully back next week, following week.
Mach 5.
Yep, Mach 5. Barry Gordon's out tonight. So Barry got dinged up a little bit in practice this week. Barry caught his first varsity pass. He caught 2 of them last week, first varsity touchdown. And also had some big plays from a linebacker position, a tackle for loss. He had that touchdown and then tackle for loss like on the next play. Barry's really BG3 coming into his own. So hopefully, again, that's something that is just going to be a week-to-week thing, and we'll see him back in the lineup next week. Tyson Hayes is out as well. So Tyson, huge contributor from that star position on defense. So he's out with an injury. We got to keep going. Joseph Gray, starting linebacker and wide receiver, is out. Rico Antonio D'Alessandro, the guy who sees a lot of time on both sides of the ball, is also out tonight. And I think Jonathan E.G. Machin on the special teams is out. So that's a long list.
Some key players.
Yep, some key players. So I think what we'll see, and we'll try to do our best to call out names and numbers as guys go out there tonight. On the offensive side of the ball, who you have checking into those positions at wide receiver. So replacing Gordon will be Harrison Gassa. Harrison played a heck of a lot of offense last year, had a couple touchdown catches, had a great game against Lane, had a touchdown catch against Clark as well. And so really was coming into his own. I think this year they wanted him to be able to focus on defense and really be an impact player on the D-line. He'll still be there tonight, but he's got to go both ways. Will the Thrill DeMille. He's checking in at the Z receiver spot. Will's done a heck of a lot in his JV career. I mean, he was a go-to guy a couple of years ago for Newman, and I think we'll see him tonight in that position. And then some of the other areas we're going to see. I think Aaron Champion is going to be in the lineup on defense at a linebacker position.
Number 33, number 3.
All right, they've got the captains coming to the middle of the field. We've got Anthony Hood. So mention Anthony. Anthony didn't play defense last week. We know he's a 2-time all-CPS defensive back. He's going to check back in the defensive backfield. So in some ways, nice to get him back on the field. I think, again, the hope was to not have to play Anthony every single play in a game, but he'll be out there playing both ways. So he's checking in. We'll have to see exactly where they align, but I think he's checking into Duhan's spot in the defensive backfield. So our captains, Clayton, Hood, Can't see who the third game captain
52.
is. 52. 52 in your – oh, that's Jason Perez. I shouldn't even have to look. It's early. It's early in the season, but I had a big conversation with Jason about his number change. Jason, as you know, our right tackle, great guy, mad cute. And Jason also moved over to linebacker this year from a D-line spot. So Jason thought 52 was going to be a better look for him at that linebacker position, which it is. And he made some nice plays last week. Also a guy that has the speed to hold up in that position. So while he's a tackle on offense, you think, oh, this guy doesn't have it. He's a 4'8", 40 guy, and he can put that on display at that linebacker position. So I continue my streak, seeing that there was a coin toss out there, but having no idea who won the toss.
I believe that we are receiving.
All right, so
I don't know who won.
True. That's true. I mean, it used to be, like, when did that all change over, right? Like, back in the day, if you won, you took the ball, right? I mean, wasn't that, like...
Not always. Not when you had a defense like the 85 Bears.
Well, sure. And that's what I'm saying is now it's rare that a team will take the ball to start with, right? I mean, I bet it's 98% of teams are going to defer, maybe even higher, right? You're going to defer because you know the other team's going to take the ball to start with, but you want that ball out of halftime, right? You want to try to seize that second half momentum.
Exactly.
So maybe we'll get a little maybe somebody out there can do a little quick Google search on that and find out. So we're just watching the Whitney Young Dolphins warm up here. So we'll have Bennett Newman starting at quarterback. That was Anthony Hood catching one in the end zone. Hopefully we see that IRL as the kids say.
I believe that's in real life.
It is, I think. I mean, I would have to look it up.
Yeah, I learned a new one, not an acronym, but a new saying from an article in, of all places, the Wall Street Journal.
All right.
Riz. If you've got Riz, that's a good thing. That means you've got game, and they claim that it comes from it's a shortening of charisma.
Oh, Riz. All right. So, Scott, your challenge tonight, and on your Whitney Young bingo card, if you've got Riz on your bingo card, we're going to look for Scott Clayton to work that in at some point this evening.
I can work it in now because according to Joseph Clayton, I have no Riz.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. You've got plenty of Riz. You've got more Riz than you know what to do with.
My wife would definitely beg to differ.
All right, so we clock is running just right about 1 minute before we get this game underway. We will, at halftime, we'll jump in and give you some highlights of some Whitney Young sports scores and also some other Chicago highlights. We had a big game last night. Maine South rebounded after a Week 1 loss. Maine South beat Warren last night in a pretty tight game, actually. And I mentioned it last week. Jack DeFilippis, who's a quarterback who worked out with Bennett Newman, Anthony Hood in the offseason, got hurt. But his backup led Maine South to a big victory over Warren. Warren's had a very good program. So those are both top 25 schools that faced off on a Thursday night. There's some other big games going on tonight. And again, I don't want to steal my whole halftime show right now as we kill a little bit of time. But our opponent next week, Morgan Park, is facing off against Mount Carmel. So we're hoping Mount Carmel takes a little bit out of those guys. We are also on the Leadership Perspective sideline. We're on the home side because that is the side that had power. So we are hooked in to power on the leadership side. So if you hear a lot of cheering for things that we're not necessarily super happy about, just know that that's where we are. You've got a shot across the way of the Whitney Young fans, Whitney Young players tonight.
Hopefully it'll be a calm broadcast.
Yes. Well, we always have to. It is different, and do we? Do we have the Showtime announcer? This guy does a lot of basketball stuff. Well, that's kind of fun. I don't know his name, but he's sort of a staple at a lot of the Chicago Public Schools basketball games. So
I was wrong.
So that's all right. You just weren't right. So Perspective is going to receive the kick, and deep is Terrell Lockett that we mentioned, number 3. He is their dynamic 4-5 guy who was CPS honorable mention. Kicking off for Whitney Young will be number 16, Miles Barsma. Also out on special teams, you see Aaron Champion out there. Brian Pantoja, number 8. Number 51, Ayakunle Allen Espinoza. Also Nasir Rankin playing on special teams. Across the way, Javon Hobbs, starting cornerback, also out there on special teams. Lorenzo Rivas. Lining up to kick will be Barsma from the 40. He had some nice kicks last week, good kickoffs. And so we are about to get underway. Lockett is flanked by Dawan Bell. That kick is to the, I think there's a whistle blown. Not sure where the whistle is coming from.
I don't see a flag.
I'm not sure. We've got the official there.
Bumping the clock.
Maybe a re-kick. So there's a re-kick on that. So Barsma will tee it up again and kick off. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Might have jumped the gun.
Officials may not have been ready. Insert joke here. But we are, again, about to get underway.
Doesn't appear to be a penalty.
Nope. So still kicking off from the 40. Perspectives Warriors again come into this game 1-0. They beat King last week 36-20. Whitney Young 0-1. They dropped a 53-14 decision to the Hope Eagles.
They reset the clock to 12 minutes.
So they reset the clock to 12 minutes, and now we are teed up at the 35-yard line. Don't know exactly about that, but so again, Bell, Lockett, and I can't quite tell the number. Going to be tough on numbers across to the far side with perspectives. Always these, I mean, at least their numbers are outlined in sort of a metallic silver, but it's the dark numbers on the dark uniforms always a little bit tough to see. So here we go. Barsma kicking it off. Short kick, bounces at the 20, picked up, cutting across. Good pursuit by the Dolphins and brought down. Nice tackle. Miles Barsma, the kicker, went after him on that one.
That was Jarrell Brinston on the
the
catch.
Brinston on the return, Barsma from his kicker spot, and that was pursuit, right? He had him, and then it looked like he was going to turn the corner, and Barsma just kept up his pursuit. So Barsma, a freshman.
The kicking team was consistent last week, and it's carrying over to this week.
All right, so a few. So again, Coach Finger talked about guys moving in different positions. Moving down to a linebacker position is number 2, Luke Jolich. So Jolich has played a few years as a safety. He's jumping in next to Clayton in the middle. So Clayton, number 33, Jolich, number 2, are your middle linebackers. Parks at quarterback. Calls out his signals. Handoff in the middle. I think that's Bell. Knocked
Face
immediately.
Stuffed that play.
Baba Nefasimi Opadele.
Baba.
Big Baba just shooting through there. So loss of 1 on that play. So what I saw out of perspectives on film was that they do try to hit that quick one up the middle to Bell. Their quarterback, Parks, is a dynamic runner. So he's going to try to get the corner on things. And Lockett, they try to get the ball to a bunch in a variety of different ways. Deep passes, jet sweeps. They'll run a little bit of option to try to get the ball in his hands as well.
I was going to say, with the way the Dolphins pursued that play, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go with an RPO.
Yeah, so that's exactly. So you see the lineup right now. You've got Parks as the quarterback. He has both Bell and now Lockett is coming over here. So they've got trips to the right-hand side with Bell as the outside receiver. He has Maxwell Warner shading over the top of him. Long count. Bell, he was looking for that option. There's pursuit on the outside.
Excellent pursuit.
I think that's a little 52. Jason Mad Cute Perez, again, solid pursuit on that. I think Anthony Hood also coming up in that run coverage. So that was a loss of 3 on that play, bringing up 3rd down and about 14. So
good pursuit by the Dolphin front line and linebackers.
Yep, again, that's you got to be gap sound when you see a lot of this misdirection. So it looks like up front we've got Juan Cepeda at 1 D end, Nick Dale on the nose, Babanefasimi Opedele on the right side linebacker position. Let's see if they can get some heat on Parks here on 3rd down. Parks calling the signals. He's got 3 receivers to his right, trying to draw the Dolphins off sides. He's rolling to his right. He's looking. He's throwing low and incomplete. Joseph Clayton on the coverage. That pass intended for Christopher Smith.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. So 3 and out for the Dolphin defense. So Anthony Hood back deep for the punt. I know Anthony's loving this. In some ways he understands that he probably shouldn't be out there every play. But I asked him last night about checking in on defense, and he had a big smile on his face. And I think he's not going to mind returning some punts as well. So he is back at the
How can you not love Anthony Hood?
Yeah, well,
the kid says very little, and he lets his actions speak for him.
All right, there's a good snap. A kick, a short kick. Probably want to get out of the way of that. Ball bounces at the 40 and is downed at the 40 by the Warriors.
Good opening field position for the Dolphins.
Yep. Dolphins start in Warriors territory, something we did not see a whole lot of last week in the first half, right? Second half, we spent some time in the Hope Eagles territory. So, again, checking in on offense in the receiver positions, you've got Will DeMille, Will the Thrill DeMille, number 10, is the receiver closest to us. Nasir Rankin, number 1. Newman, the quarterback. He has Jolich behind him. Handoff to Jolich up the middle. Jolich driving those legs, picks up about 5 right up the middle, right behind those blocks of Dale, Cepeda, and Opedele.
That's a good sign, getting that offensive line firing off.
Yeah, and I think you probably wanted to give Luke that first handoff after
last
we
week.
We won't mention. I'm gonna stop. No more Hope mentions unless they're positive, right?
No, only from the second half.
Yeah.
Only from the second half.
So two receivers, Ngasa to the middle, Newman with a shovel over to Jolich. Jolich picking his way. Jolich to the outside. First down.
Excellent run.
Tackled out there by Gregory Drew, but Jolich did a nice job. Found a seam, hit it up, put his foot in the ground, and took it up to the 20-yard line.
Newman was very patient on that play.
You have a little read on his side to see where he wanted to go with it. A little RPO action. So again, DeMille, receiver on the top. Gassa, number 21, is lined up in tight to the tight end position. That's Rankin going in motion. So you got Hood one-on-one to the bottom. Newman, handoff to Jolich. Jolich again moving
that
the
offensive
pile.
line is moving that D-line.
Yep, moving that pile. Running up the middle behind that powerful offensive line. MJ Woods, left tackle. So picked up about 7 on that. So this drive, which started at the Warriors 40, Dolphins pushing close to the red zone here on all running plays. So Jolich has been the workhorse back so far. Jolich lined up to Newman's right. He's got Hood and Gassa to the top. Newman waving Rankin in motion. Jet sweep to Rankin. Rankin looking for a seam, brought down at the line of scrimmage. That was a nice tackle. We'll try to pick up that number. Looked like there was going to be something over there.
I think the defensive end stayed at home.
Yeah, so it was a good end to push out, and then I think a linebacker, and again, trying to get some numbers here, but really tough. Linebacker went shooting through there and made the tackle. So it brings up 3rd and about 4. 3rd and 4 after that shovel pass to Rankin. So Newman barking signals. Handoff to Jolich. Jolich looking for a spot. Maybe one. Maybe picked up one. So we'll see. I mean, Solomon Bradley looked good last week kicking extra points. Kick one in the woods. They were still looking for it. They just they never came out with the ball. Just twigs and berries. Just twigs and berries.
Showtime got the down wrong. Called it 3rd down.
Yeah, so 4th and 2. What do you think here, Scott? Dolphins gonna try to keep pounding Jolich in there?
I say let the offensive line do what they do best.
So Hood, a receiver to the right.
Looks like that right side is soft.
Newman, hands off to Jolich. Jolich has got
There
a
he
spot
goes.
there. Yeah, that's going to be close. Going to be close. And they keep calling no gain, but I think it's right at the line. Might have to bring the sticks out for that. Looks like it was right at the line to gain.
We're going to get a measurement. He gave him the 1st down.
All right, 1st down.
1st down. Nice work.
Good job, Jolich. Good job right side of that offensive line. I think Hood was over there blocking as well.
I got to tell you, there was something weird about the Perspectives right side, left side of their defense. I think there was some confusion in the call.
All right, so 1st down. Dolphins can still get a 1st down. Another handoff to Jolich. Jolich driving inside the 5-yard line.
There's a disconnect with the defense. They're not getting their calls in. There's a lot of movement, and we're taking advantage of it with the quick snap.
So Newman over to the sideline. Coach Boucher, I think you better reward Luke Jolich here. I mean, again, not getting ahead of myself here. Dolphins have been on a long drive here, all runs, other than the shovel pass to Rankin.
I think that still counts as a completion.
It sure does. As a quarterback's dad, you relish those. So Newman at quarterback. There's a shovel pass to Anthony Hood. Hood gonna walk into the, well, it wasn't a walk.
He
had to lower his shoulder.
He lowered that shoulder.
Lower the boom. So technically a pass back to those quarterback dads liking those little forward, although there's a flag on the play.
Dropped a late flag.
Okay, so we'll have to see what we hear. I see a Warrior clapping his hands, so that probably means we've got a penalty on the Dolphins. So we will. I never put the points on the board, so we'll take the points off the board. So it looks like they're marching off. Probably a holding penalty. Yep. So a holding penalty marches it back about 10 yards, and that's going to bring up, this will be a repeat of, well, actually, let's think about this. Is this the 1st down? 1st or 2nd down?
I believe it's still
2nd down? Okay. We think it's 2nd down here. No, I think it's 1st, right? Because Jolich had the 1st down carry inside the 2. So now we've got Newman. I think Clayton is next to him in the backfield. Newman hands off to Clayton. Clayton looking for the edge. Clayton turning the edge, turning upfield.
He got a stiff arm in there.
Yep, so Clayton, let's see where they're going to mark him out of bounds. Look like a pickup.
Looks like about the 6.
Yep, so maybe about the 6. This is pretty tough for us on this side to get the angle of what's going on. So I think, and again, a lot of different lines on the field, soccer field, and probably some, I don't know, some pickleball lines down there.
Lacrosse.
So you got Newman at quarterback, Clayton in at running back, trying to finish off this drive. Second down. High snap. Newman shovels it over. Incomplete pass. He was looking for Hood over on the right-hand side. So maybe got a little bit of the timing off on that with a high snap. Newman had to bring it down and flipped it over, bringing up third down. Third down somewhere around the 5-yard line. It seems about right.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's get those offensive linemen moving.
Yeah, so, again, Dolphins started this drive at their 40, so a 35-yard drive to this point.
They have been chewing the clock.
Yeah, they sure have. We're within under 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Again, no score. Dolphins on their first drive of the day. Newman waving Rankin in motion. Newman with a snap. He's got some time. Wings it over. I think there was the timing on that wasn't quite what it needed to be. So I think Rankin might have gotten hung up in his break because Newman was looking for him at the pylon, and that's where the pass was, but the receiver was not there. So Dolphins going to go for it here on fourth down. The way the Dolphin defense looked, you feel, obviously you want to score here.
Definitely four-down territory.
But fourth down, you got DeMille, Rankin, Hood, Gassa as wide receivers, Clayton as the running back, Newman rolling to his left. He's looking, he's got a wide open Harrison Gassa for the touchdown. So that's what Harrison Gassa does. He scores touchdowns.
He's a big target.
Nice rollout by Newman, looking downfield, and whoever had coverage on Gassa didn't have coverage on Gassa. So the Dolphins go up 6-0. We've got Solomon Bradley stepping on for the extra point. Von Conrad, the holder. 4-star Ben Barrett with the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Good job, Dolphins. Shoot up a lot of clock. A 41-yard drive. Successful pass and extra point. I chalk that up as success.
Yeah, we'll take that. I mean, for many reasons. So, nice play, good drive for that offensive line. Came back from a penalty, right? So that's also when you look at the resilience here and what you have to build. And I think one of the things, too, for this team, as a young team last year and a team that lost some of those close games, you've got to be able to do those sort of things. And we saw it last week in the second half, right?
Exactly. You've got to have no short-term memory.
Yep. So we saw it last week where there was where Clayton had that great catch, first down, called back on a penalty, and they got right back to it, and he went
the opposite side, picked up the first down.
Yep. So on that drive, 11 plays, 40 yards. Jolich with 6 carries on that drive for 40 yards because we had the penalty in there. And then capped it off the 5-yard touchdown pass from Newman to Harrison Gassa. All right, so we'll see. Miles Bardsma's got it teed up here. We'll see if Miles wants to go down there and try to pad his special teams tackle number.
I like the way he stayed away from their stars on the first kick.
Yep, and that's the same thing. Squib kick to the middle.
Good bounce.
Topped over, so Lockett has it. He's dynamic. Let's see if they can seal the edge on him. They've done a nice job on it, just forcing him back into the entire Dolphin defense.
There was a late flag that just came in.
Yep. So I'm going to Aaron Champion, great job. He's the guy that set that edge, made sure that Lockett had to pull that back up into the rest of his special teamer teammates.
I don't understand that call. It's against the Dolphins, but I didn't understand the referee's signal.
So it looks like we got a
unsportsmanlike conduct.
Maybe. Oh no. It was a penalty against the Warriors.
Is he saying that was a hold? What signal?
Yeah, I don't know. There was some arms out. I don't know. That's
he
sort
brought
of like
arms out and brought them together. Like
ball.
maybe someone got hugged. I don't know.
It could be. Maybe a volleyball signal. Like don't they have some of those things where you don't have any idea what's going on? Okay, so I'm going to try to do a better job on our defensive alignment here, especially some of the new guys checking in. So I mentioned that Jolich is moving up to that linebacker position next to Clayton. Anthony Hood playing that deep safety spot. We also got Brian Pantoja out there. So Pantoja and Maxwell Warner are the safety and cornerback on our side here. Also Aaron Champion. So Aaron Champion is checking in. Champion's playing the Tyson Hayes star position. And then Javon Hobbs is the far side corner with Jason Perez on that outside linebacker position. So, again, we got Parks as the quarterback for the Warriors, calling out signals. He's got that inside handoff. Breaks through.
The ball was carried out past the 30-yard line.
Tackle by Pantoja. Good run. That's Dajuan Bell. Dajuan Bell is also a guy who is only a junior, and I think he's been playing varsity since his freshman year. Has had a number of solid runs, touchdowns in both of his first years on varsity. So Bell is a 5'11", 188-pound junior for the Warriors. So picked up a first down on that run. Again, that goes back to there's the not saying it was a gap loan. I think it was a nice run by Bell and a good side. And in perspectives, you can see that offensive line has got some size, maybe not as big as the Hope Eagles that we faced last week. So first down at the 30-yard line, at the Warriors' 30-yard line. Banks with that handoff to Bell. This time, again, great pursuit.
Jolich shot the gap on the blitz.
Jolich shot the gap, and then Aaron Champion cleaned it up.
Small gain on the play.
Jolich was making me a little nervous. He kept inching up, and I think they were trying to draw him off. But
yeah, so they've gone deep. I noticed that on the film too. I mean, it's they take their time at the line of scrimmage. So yeah, you do definitely need to have patience to not jump off sides.
Is there a play clock in high school?
There is. It's the head referee has a play clock on the field. So I think it's like a 40-second play clock.
Okay.
Banks at quarterback. I think he has Bell next to him. Banks waiting. Banks quick pass. Ooh, quick pass. That
got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yep. Just out of the reach of Jason Perez over on the right-hand side.
I'm wondering if he saw something at the line because he popped that as soon as he received the
So
snap.
I'd say this. The things that I saw from them on film, I saw that, right? So I saw the runs up the middle, pounding up the middle. Saw some of those quick screens, right? And quick, like, at the line of scrimmage. And yeah, maybe, again, we saw a lot of that last week. So you face a team that's playing a zone defense, and you have a cushion on those guys. And maybe you see a guy like wearing a number 52, and you're like, hey, I'm going to wing it out and see what my guy can do against number 52. They just didn't know that it's Jason Perez disguised in there, sort of a Superman. There's Clayton looking, blitzing. Pass to the right-hand side. Falls incomplete.
Like to think that was influenced by the rush.
Yep. Champion, Maxwell Warner, and Brian Pantoja on the coverage over there. So brings up fourth down.
The Dolphins have a great atmosphere on the team, and it's, I guess, part of practice to give each other a hard time. Clayton has determined that Max Warner runs just as he does when he triple jumps.
he doesn't. I rewatched our call. I think one of us said that on that run. It was like, it was a hop and a skip and a jump, right? He's like, and sort of darts to the side and he's off. And so we'll if on your bingo card you have that Max Warner finished in the top 10 in
number
Junior
6.
Olympics, 6th in Junior Olympics, you can mark that down. and you get yourself a Sorelli's Finer Foods sandwich. That punt goes straight up in the air.
Get away from that.
Yeah. He had the 60-degree wedge on that one.
Almost pulled out the buckshot.
So again, it's going to put the Dolphins in great field position. They're going to start at about the Warriors' 41, 42-yard line after that. So,
but for the kickoffs, we have not been on this side of the 50.
Now let's keep it that way. So 2:11 left here in the first quarter. Dolphins on their second drive. Newman at quarterback. Jolich, who had 40 yards on that opening drive, checks back in at running back. There's the hand to Jolich. Jolich driving up the middle for a couple.
Small gain on the play for the Dolphins. Second down.
Looks like number 33, Justin Harris, a 5'9", 225 linebacker on the tackle. I actually think he had one of their nice plays on the first drive as well. We'll keep our eye on number 33, Justin Harris.
Looks like a gain of 4. So
All
second
right.
and 6.
Gain of 4, second and 6. Newman to the sideline, checks back in with the play. He's talking to both Jolich and Will DeMille. Will DeMille headed out, split wide. Rankin also out wide. Gassa at the H-back position. Newman pulls it, hits Hood, and not a completion. So I think Anthony would want that one back. They saw the one-on-one coverage over there and took a quick hit, and Anthony just couldn't quite corral it.
Newman did what he was supposed to do. He put it on his hands.
All right. All right, so that's third down, 3rd and 7 from the 38-yard line. Newman has had good protection back there. So again, same 4 receiver set. Rankin, Gassa, DeMille with Hood. Hood has single coverage here on the bottom. Let's see if they go back to him. Newman throwing it deep to Rankin. A flag that came out pretty quickly, so I'm going to guess that may be a holding penalty.
I believe so.
And we'll see what the Warriors want to do on it.
Chop block.
Chop block. So maybe we got a little one of our running backs or a double team on a lineman went low on that. That came out pretty quickly. So Newman was trying to hook up with Rankin over on the right-hand side.
You know, not to make light of it, but if Baba Nifasimi Opedele was involved, he might have been standing up.
Absolutely.
And it was still counted as a chop block.
Oh, man. you my guy, Baba. Baba Nefasimi Opedele. Again, we're lying our butts off here, 5'7", 215. So that's probably a 15-yarder. So that there, we move ourselves out of Warriors territory on that.
I'll claim the jinx.
Yep. So 3rd down and more than 20. Probably third and about 22, I think. So again, we talked about the protection. We'll see if the Dolphins offensive line can give Newman enough time to let his receivers get downfield, or if he shoots it over here to Jolich. Jolich, make a man miss. Couldn't. Nice closing tackle. Closing tackle again. That's our guy, number 33, Justin Harris, with a nice play. So completion to Jolich, but Harris coming downhill from his linebacker position closed it up quickly. So the Dolphins will have to punt. Their second possession ends in a punt. Feels like maybe a breeze a little bit behind Bardsma. So Bardsma, Ben Barrett with the snap. Perfect, as always, to Bardsma. Bardsma lines it. That's flag is down. Lockett is still on his feet.
It'll be coming back.
He's still on his feet, by the way. Champion finally wrestling him to the ground over there. Got a flag.
God bless him.
Back at the 25-yard line.
I believe it's a block in the back.
Yeah, so you can see, again, Lockett is a guy that they're going to try to get the ball to, because when he has it in his hands, he's got 4.5 speed. He's got a big frame. He can make things happen. So the Dolphins dodge a bullet there in that there was a flag down, and they'll march it back. They will march it back well into Warriors territory. Dolphins on top here, 16.8 seconds left in the first quarter. 16 point left in the first quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, Dolphins took their first drive, 40-yard drive, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown pass from Bennett Newman to Harrison Gossa. Dolphins had a nice running attack on that drive with Yolich picking up 40. Second drive was promising, but then got waylaid with a penalty, and so the Dolphins have just kicked it away. First two defensive possessions, Dolphins have only given up one first down. Bell had a rushing first down on the last possession. So looks like first down from the 15. Now we're pretty far away, and it's gotten a little bit darker, so I'm going to make some guesses here. I think that's still Parks at quarterback, number 2. Parks at quarterback. He's looking to run up the middle. Nice closing. Clayton shot out of a cannon. So that was something that looked like was maybe developing, and then an orange streak came flying across your screen.
Good work by Clayton. He kept his feet, drove through the tackle.
All right, so that is the end of the first quarter. So Clayton, as you know, a captain on the team, senior, 5'7", 165. I don't think that's right. He's got more on him than 165.
Actually, no, he does not. He is lean and mean.
All right, so we're going to head to the second quarter. Again, Dolphins leading 7-0. If you're hungry, you might want to think about going to Sorelli's Finer Foods. Sorelli's one of our sponsors. Sorelli's provides sandwiches for our players, both pre and post game. Again, give Aunt Patty Sorelli a call if you are in the market for catering, or if you are in the neighborhood, West North Avenue, and you're looking for a sandwich, looking for some solid food. Sorelli's.
I'm not going to lie. I have been lobbying Joseph to bring a couple of extra home.
Yeah, well, I think there aren't many extra there.
Yeah.
and if they are, I think a few other people have that in mind as well. That was something that actually Jennifer Newman said last week as we were heading home and collecting things and trying to figure out when you get back home at 10 or 11 at night and you have to try to put together dinner plans. And it's like, man, yeah, a couple Sorelli sandwiches right now, that would do the trick.
That would hit the spot.
All right, so the Warriors will take over here.
I got to admit, their numbers on the sideline look pretty thin, so I'm wondering if fatigue is going to start to become a factor.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was just trying to get a feel. They have, I think they have 12 or 13 seniors on this team. Again, a team that went 8-2 last year. They play in CPS White Division, qualified for the state playoffs. They met up with Kenwood in the first round. So, I mean, that wasn't going to go well for just about anybody in the state that's meeting up with Kenwood.
Especially last season.
Yeah. So, Parks at quarterback. Just trying to keep our eye on number 3, Tyrell Lockett, to see where he is. He is the receiver to our far side, to Parks' right. That's where they're looking right now. He's got double coverage and broken up by, I think it was Maxwell Warner over there.
Warner.
Yep, so that's where they're looking.
Tried to high point a triple jumper.
Yeah,
Again, I don't know the scouting report. But
well, that's Lockett at 6'2", 195 and his 4.5 speed. So I know that Max has got a lot of athleticism. Lockett has it as well. So that's where Parks immediately looked over on that side. There was safety help over the top. So you had Maxwell Warner, and I think Pantoja is the safety on that side. Anthony Hood playing that deep safety. And the corner on the side closest to us, number 22, is senior Javon Hobbs. Hobbs, again, joining the Dolphin football team after spending, and he'll spend another year with the Dolphin basketball team. So we talked about some of that athleticism. Two of basketball players, Rankin, who we may see, definitely seeing on the offensive side, but maybe on the defensive side as well, and Hobbs. Parks calling the signals. 3rd down and long for the Warriors. Ball snapped to his left. He's looking for a quick pass. He's got Lockett there. Tackle on the play by Pantoja. So a good pitch and catch from Parks to Lockett.
He did a nice job of corralling that snap. He bobbled it.
Yep. So snap to his left, got his eyes back around and saw his big 6'2" receiver flashing across the middle and got that pass delivered to him. Pickup of over 20 yards on that. So 1st down at the Warriors 40. Just starting the 2nd quarter here. And we're, as the Dolphins D, got to make sure you're keeping your eyes on Lockett. They've done a nice job shutting down the run game so far for the Warriors. Looks like the Warriors are going heavy pass so far. Although there's a run up the middle to Bell, and nice job stopping it up. I think that was Juan Cepeda.
Picked up about 3.
Might have been Cepeda, or also in the lineup is Boubacar Berry. So Boubacar Berry checking in at the nose. I think that was Boubacar on that tackle. So you got Booba at number 53, and you've got Baba and Booba locking down the middle. So a gain of about 3 for Bell on that last play.
That's some good size there in the middle.
Yeah, sure is. And Boubacar checked in last week. Boubacar is a senior, 5'10", 290. So it looks like we're going heavy on that front line. I think we got Nick Dale also in there on the line. Motion to Parks' left, so he's got 2 receivers to his left. He's got 2 in the backfield. They run some option out of this.
Is that a loaded pistol?
That is. Inside handoff to Bell. Champion did a nice job forcing me inside, and then Luke Jolich put his head down. Bell might have enough to pick up the 1st down.
I think he did.
I think they are moving the chains, so that ball is going to be resting right at the 50-yard line. So back-to-back runs.
That was just good old-fashioned power right there.
Yep. He did this pad level, right? And so, again, Bell, 5'10", 188. And has seen quite a bit of action. So, yeah, so same thing. Sort of loaded pistol, 2 receivers to the right, 1 left, and 2 in the backfield, 1 next to Parks. And Bell deep in the eye. That's the inside handoff. I think that's to number 33. I think that's Justin Harris. So, again, Champion and Pantoja. So, again, tough to pick up numbers, but I think that's Gregory Drew. No, Justin Harris. Sorry, Justin Harris. So, 2nd down. 2nd down, pick up about 4 on that play. So, Warriors trying to get that running game. Just when I said all they were going to do is pass, then they just run. What do you want me to say now?
Well, I mean, when you've got, number 79, Kevin Suddeth, 6'5", 305, you would think that the run game would be pretty stout.
Yeah, Suddeth holding down that left-hand side. Looks like he's in there at the left tackle or guard position, right? Yep.
He was getting some fashion adjustment from one of his teammates. Looked like he was.
So Parks at quarterback, 2nd down and about 6. Parks getting the snap, taking it to the right-hand side, and then
excellent
swallowed
pursuit.
up Joseph Clayton. Clayton on the tackle. So they were looking to run option right. Clayton's assignment on that was to stick his helmet, not his helmet in a bad way, right? Not anymore. Stick his shoulder pad into Banks. And I love the PA here is like, it's definitely a homer call. He's like, no gain on the play. That was a loss of 2 or 3 on the play.
They gave him forward progress such that it was back at the line of scrimmage.
But still a TFL. I think a loss of 1 is going to bring up 3rd and a long 7. 7:33 left here in the first half. Banks collecting the play from the Warriors sideline. Banks at quarterback. He's got Justin Harris and Bell in the backfield with him. Lockett is split high, so that's somebody that you want to watch in this alignment.
Looks like they're definitely going to the air.
3rd and long. Snap, handoff, up the middle,
and
immediately Nick Dale.
Nice job, I'm sure.
Nick Dale shot it on Justin Harris.
Big brother, Coach Alex in the box has got to be proud.
Well, and Nick's is a guy that just does his job, right? He's a guy that maybe on defense we're not calling out a lot of his name because his job is to take up bodies and allow guys like Yolich and Clayton to clean up on tackles. But that time he just pushed the center straight back and made the tackle. I mean, at first I thought there was another Dolphin involved, and I like rolled it through. That's just Big Nick. Nicely done.
Brings his hard hat and pail every day.
That's right. I'm sure Rodney Dale enjoying that as well on the far sideline. So 4th down. Warriors going to go for it here on 4th, about 4th and 9 from the Dolphin 49-yard line. I would get my eyes on Lockett. Who's down here closest to us, receiver closest to us. He has Maxwell Warner over the top. That's where we're looking. You got to... Okay, so Javon Hobbs played the receiver on that, and Hood was over the top as a safety. Pass falls incomplete.
Dolphins take over on downs. Is correct. 5:46 left. So that was a long drive though for the Warriors. Even they started back at their after the penalty 15.
At the 15. So they were able to get it into Dolphins territory on a couple first down runs. But then the Dolphin defense stiffened and turns it over to the Dolphins now on down. So Dolphins up 7-0 here. 5:46 left in the first quarter.
Let's get some quick hits. We've got Clayton in the backfield.
Yep, so Newman at quarterback. DeMille, Rankin, receivers closest to us. High snap, pull down. Clayton with some room to rumble. Picks up about
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Yep, you had Harrison Gossa out there blocking for him at the end. So Clayton saw a crease in the middle and put his foot down and hit it up for a nice gain on first down. Always like to have that, right? So 2nd and short gives Coach Finger, Coach Boucher on the play call a lot of opportunities and what they want to do with the playbook.
A big improvement from last week. A lot of north-south running, not a lot of east-west.
Yep. So Clayton, the running back, to Newman's right. Trips receivers to his right. Newman back to pass. He's got time.
Clayton.
He's looking deep. He's got Rankin. Hung up there a little bit. Rankin got his head around, but couldn't quite make the adjustment.
He's thrown into the breeze. I'll tell you, Clayton picked up the blitz there, gave him plenty of time.
Yeah, the nice job on that offensive line. They wanted to try to hit that deep, and again, it's because of that 2nd and short, you can go to that. You've been able to rip off some yards on the ground, so wanted to take the deep shot to Rankin. That will happen at some point and at multiple points this year. Rankin, extremely athletic, and somebody they want to get out there. Again, the Coach Finger mentioned in the open, a lot of man coverage from perspective, so I think the hope is to be able to spring Hood and Rankin free on some of those. So short yardage carry. Clayton lets it develop. Works to the right-hand side. Russell down inside the 20-yard line. Great run by Joseph Clayton.
Looked good. I think he's disappointed he didn't get the stiff arm out, though.
Well, he did a really nice job. Kind of let it develop. waited for where that hole was and then hit it. And again, back to your north to south, man. He went north to south. So a little bit of Le'Veon Bell hesitation in the backfield and then hit the accelerator.
Oh, you cannot let him know you compared him to Le'Veon Bell.
I'm more than happy if Joseph Clayton wants to listen to our live stream and maybe put something out there on social media tagging me. I'm more than happy to do it.
He is responsible for the team's social media accounts.
All right, so looks like Max Warner, right? Max Warner checking in at running back.
That is
so
correct.
Newman has Ngasa in motion, flips it over to Warner. I think they're going to get an illegal motion
on Ngasa.
Ngasa, yeah. Ngasa headed upfield earlier than he should have, which negates that play and will march it back 5 yards for the Dolphins here with 4:06 left in the first half.
Yeah, everything about that play looked off.
So ball at the 25-yard line. And so here's one of these things with these long drives. I mean, Dolphins up 7-0 here. You really want to put something away on this drive. Of course, you want to do that on every drive, but just given the way this first half has gone, where you've played a really nice game, you want to have the scoreboard represent that as well. Exactly. So DeMille, Ngasa, Rankin split to the right. Hood on the top. Newman pulls it. He's looking for Hood on the fade. Hood, great catch. Jukin into the end zone. Touchdown.
Dolphins.
I did a quick look to make sure there's nothing on the field, any sort of yellow laundry. There's not. So that was great. So that was one of those things where Hood had the body control. Newman throwing the fade to the side. Hood made the adjustment and then got in the end zone for the touchdown. Barrett snapping. Conrad holding.
Barely, it's good.
Solomon Bradley hitting the one iron through the goal post.
So we've had a 60-degree wedge on a.
Yeah, we got the whole bag.
We got the whole bag.
Got the whole bag.
So Dolphins 14, Perspective 0. 3 minutes 26 seconds left in the first half, and this is what we expected to see from the Whitney Young Dolphins football team. Putting together some solid drives.
Yep, exactly, and doing it a couple different ways, right? Both of the touchdowns have been on pass plays, but set up nicely by a strong run game. First drive was Jolich. This drive was Clayton doing the hard work on the ground.
Running back by committee.
Well, when you have that kind of talent back there, that's what you want to do.
And consistently keep fresh legs in there.
Especially when those guys are going on the defensive side of the ball as well. So Bardsman's got it teed up at the 40. Kick is away.
That was offside on the Dolphins.
All right, so that will back them up 5 yards.
That was kind of obvious.
Yeah, yep. Got started a little bit early. I think also so Lockett is number 3. He is back deep. He's dynamic. He's shaded off to the right-hand side as well. They've got 3 back. I think Bell, their starting running back, is back deep as well, along with Lockett. So, and we do have a little bit of a breeze. I don't see. Oh yeah, there's some small flags on top of the goalpost. That is definitely showing the wind is blowing slightly in Miles Bardsma's face. The wind out of the south.
I commend you for your eyesight because I was looking for the flag earlier, and I couldn't find it.
Well, maybe we didn't have breeze before, and it wasn't actually blowing around. I think your eyesight is great, Scott. I think you got some riz. So that ball goes to Lockett. Lockett across the 30. Good pursuit, although breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. Out across the 35-yard line to about the 37-yard line.
Now, there was an example. I think if he turned upfield, he would have had a much better run. But there's a tendency to run sideline to sideline. And really all that gets you is out of breath.
Yep. You're correct about that. So, again, a little too far for us to see who made the special teams tackle, but there was an initial wave down there. I think Champion was in that initial wave.
I think it might have been the turf monster.
Might have tripped him up there. So, 14-0, 3:15 left. Let's see if the Dolphin defense, again, that defensive line, we went heavy on the D-line, right? It's a lot of times we're flashing some guys like Harrison Gossa. Harrison Gossa is actually, I guess, as a wide receiver, they got him checked out. So you got Nick Dale, Boubacar Berry, and Babanefasimi Obadele on that three-man line. We'll see if those guys can do their work up there like we saw last time. Got maybe a flag coming out or something. Referees coming forward, checking in.
The T was still on the field.
Oh, who is on T duty? All right, up downs. We have to check if I'm not going to say it's Hayden Petrulis because I don't think she would leave that T out there.
She's on clipboard duty.
That's right. She's locking down the play. So Banks at quarterback, or Parks at quarterback. Sorry, inside handoff. Jason Perez. Jason Perez locking up Bell on a short gain.
He made that look easy.
1 or 2 yards. Jason wrestled down from his outside linebacker position. I know Jason, again, really fired up to move off of the D-line and get himself in space. He's really worked hard over his years. A senior now, somebody that has played all 4 years of football.
Lockett's off the field. He's got his helmet off.
All right, so Park's still at quarterback. He's got a motion man to his left sneaking up to the line of scrimmage. Park's signal, inside handoff. Nice
Russell
tackle
down.
right up the middle. I think Joseph Clayton in on that.
I think it was a combination of Clayton and Opadele.
Clayton, Opadele. Again, we talked about some of the injuries at the top of the program. On that normal defense, you're going to see Quinn Duhan out there, Joseph Gray, both of those guys out, hopefully with some short-term injuries. So you got a bunch of new faces and new positions. So Jolich playing a middle linebacker position, Aaron Champion in there as well, playing that star position of Tyson Hayes, who's also out. So all those guys we're hoping to get back from Morgan Park next week. But man up right now, 3rd down and short. I'm sure 4 down territory with the clock running close to 1:30 left here.
I was going to
in
say
the first half.
The Warriors don't seem to be moving with a sense of purpose.
So
they call a timeout.
Warriors do take a timeout.
1:29 left in the half. You know, as I was watching the clock tick, I was thinking they're taking a lot of time to make this play develop.
Yeah, it's early season games are not necessarily the most crisp when it comes to
on the execution side. We got a smile on Coach Alex Dale. I still have a hard time saying that.
Well, I think it's a lot of these guys like Coach Eddie Boucher goes by Coach Eddie, and Malik Leonard was Coach Malik, and we haven't talked a lot about Malik Leonard after the season. Got a job down in Texas.
Shout out if you're listening, Coach.
Absolutely. So Coach OD, Coach Connor O'Donnell moving out of the defensive line position. And then Alexander Dale, who is graduated and an all-state linebacker on the team last year and is still working with the team right now before he starts his college career at Northwestern. So he wanted to be like Coach Alex, and they're just like, no, you're Coach Dale. Coach Dale. So that's how you hear it. Like the other guys, they kind of got to choose how they were referred to, but you got Coach Dale. 3rd and short. $1:29 left in the first half. Banks at quarterback for the Perspectives. He is looking deep. He's got Jason Perez pursuing him. He gets the ball away because that's all he could do. Jason Perez, have yourself a ball game, my friend. He is coming at it from all angles right now. Perez showing off some of that 4.8 speed.
And with his height, he posed a pretty formidable obstacle. He had to throw that over him.
So Banks couldn't do much other than throw it out of bounds 1:22 left. So we'll see. It looks like I think that over on the Dolphins sideline, they're getting the 2-minute offense fired up. Looks like the Warriors are maybe going to punt this away. And I guess you do that. Although the last punt they had was for probably single digits. Let's see what he's got in the bag, right? Maybe he's got the 5-iron back there, and he can give this thing a shot. I also think Coach Finger mentioned it, trickery, right?
I was going to say this.
So I'm not sure that we've got a punt coming here. I think we've got sort of it's going to be a snap into the middle, and they're probably going to be running the option or something like that. We'll see if they put that play in. I think the Dolphins are thinking that way as well. They're definitely watching this, putting guys over the top on receivers. So we'll see what ends up happening. There was an up snap and tackled immediately by Maxwell Warner. So sometimes
you called it.
Well, I mean, some things are even a neophyte like me can sort of see what's going to happen.
What's it saying? A broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, there we go. Barry Newman on the broke clock fake punt call. So yeah, that was a snap to the up back. I think that was probably to number 33.
Max Warner laid a good pop on
Justin Harris. But yeah, Warner was back there immediately. So 1:17 left. Dolphins 3 timeouts left, so plenty of time to make things work. We got DeMille, Ngassa, Rankin. Rankin now in motion. Newman.
He turned up.
Yeah, so these dead ball penalties can drive a coach crazy. Can drive even a live stream announcer crazy.
Oh, no. Illegal substitution.
Oh, well.
On the Warriors.
Okay, but I was looking at exactly what you looked at, that Rankin was leaning. He was leaning toward the line of scrimmage. So they had 12 men on the field.
Wow.
12 men on the field, so looks like Darrell Bernstein is coming off now, giving them 11. Good job by the officials counting hats. And that gives the Dolphins 5 yards. It's a first down. Yardstick says second, but it's a first down. 1:16 left at about the 26-yard line. I'm not sure what's going on. There's some other conversations going on with the referees to the sideline. I'm not quite sure. They haven't blown this in yet. So
linesman has his arm out holding it.
So now looks like we're ready to go.
They changed the down marker.
Blow it in. First down. Newman looks like he's got Clayton next to him. Newman looking deep for
he caught
Rankin. Rankin. That was Rankin. So that's some athleticism there. So Newman flipped it out there. Rankin putting those basketball skills. Rankin, a guy with a couple D1 offers already on the hardwood as a sophomore. So he picks up the touchdown pass from Newman to Rankin. Barrett, long snapper. Vaughn Conrad, the holder. Solomon Bradley, the operation is up and good. So that was nice right there. I mean, we're talking about the first half, and we're grinding through this first half, and you're feeling good about things, but the scoreboard at the time was 7-0, and I just had that feeling of like, hey, man, let's put some points on the board. And after the fake punt goes awry for the Warriors, the Dolphins come right back. First play. Penalty first play on the Warriors, and then the touchdown pass from Newman to Rankin. That's Newman's third touchdown pass on the day to 3 different receivers. You got Ngassa on the first possession, Anthony Hood, and now Rankin.
So given that we're in the third round of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship, Is this the equivalent of consolidating a break point?
Oh, Scott, now you're getting me into something that I don't even have any idea. Can I call a friend on that? Can I phone a friend? Beth Annis, are you out there right now? Because I need to. There's some conversation about tennis, and I don't have any idea what it means. What does that mean?
When you win a game with when you break the other person's service, and then you come back and win your service game. That's called consolidating the break.
All right, so Bardsma with the kick to Lockett over on the side. He's brought down. Let's get some numbers there. That was Javon Hobbs.
He took him on nicely.
Yeah, he sure did. I think you had Rayton Scotemere. Rayton was down there for the initial hit, and then Hobbs, the senior defensive back, took down Lockett for the tackle. 1:06 left here in the first half. The Warriors take possession at the 45, I think. Oh, no. That's back at the 39-yard line. 39-yard line of the Warriors. So it's been a solid defensive showing right now by the entire Dolphin defense. I mean, Jason Perez really standing out. Of course, Joseph Clayton always going to give you that. But that defensive front, we saw that tackle for loss shooting through there. Nick Dale. We got Juan Cepeda back on the line again. He had a nice play in the first possession. Boubacar Berry getting some time. Bob and Efesimi Opadele getting some time. So I think the Dolphin D and Coach O'Donnell, defensive coordinator, seeing some things he likes out of those guys right now.
Like the slot receiver was about 2 yards over the line of scrimmage. He just popped back.
Parks at quarterback. Quick flip over to the side. Good pursuit by the Dolphin defense. I think you had Clayton over there on the tackle.
And there was a pod of Dolphins. Looks like we've got an injured Warrior down.
Got a pod of Dolphins. Warrior down, but getting back up, although with a helmet off. So we'll have a closer look at who that was as we come out. That was actually Lockett, right? So that was a quick pass to Lockett. So nice job by that side of the left-hand side of the Dolphin defense.
Looks like
putting the clamps on him. Yep, maybe. He's a guy that's played every down, either on offense or defense. So he might need a little bit of that hot sauce.
There you go. He waved off the trainer. So.
All right. So clock is moving on that completed pass from Parks to Lockett. So we're under 40 seconds left here in the first half. Parks at QB. Bell next to him. Handoff in the middle. I think initial contact was by, I think, Nick Dale, right? I think that's Nick Dale.
There was a lot of bodies flying around in there. I really couldn't see.
I think that was Dale on the nose who tripped him up.
Clock still running, 4 seconds.
So we are going to end the first half with the Whitney Young Dolphins up 21-0 on the Perspective Warriors.
Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Nice first half. Saw a lot of different things. Running game, passing game, defense, all working well.
Barry, I got to let you know, if my extended family is listening, specifically Charles Johnson and Howard Johnson Jr., we are broadcasting coast to coast.
Nice.
Brooklyn to L.A.
Brooklyn to L.A. I mean, you think, what would it take for us to get like a rap song for us, like you and me? What do you think?
I'm not going there. I know my limits.
Oh, I'm not saying we should rap. I just want to get in a lyric. Can we get in a lyric somewhere?
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly. We got some West Coast and East Coast.
California Love. Dr. Dre.
All right, so I better get out of here and start talking about things I know more about. So let's get into the halftime program. Let's start out with some Whitney Young sports notes from other teams. We've got the JV team started off the year. They had a game this Monday against Hope. a loss to hope, but a solid performance. And I think when I was getting the recap from some of the varsity players, they certainly were happy about how some of their guys played and some of the opportunities they had. So strong performances. Quarterback, that's a split position between Rico Antonio D'Alessandro and Von Conrad, because Rico's getting some time here on varsity. Both of those guys look good. You got that young offensive line. Coach Finger talked about it during media day. So you've got that line of the future. Dylan Piracini, who played a lot last week, filling in for Cepeda, was solid. Alex Oshesky, who also got varsity time last week. Io Kinley, Alan Espinosa, Adrian Del Villar, and Ben Barrett, all just forming a very, very strong offensive line that we're going to see for the future. A few plays, Jonathan Ijimakin, as soon as Bennett got home, he's like, Jonathan mossed this guy. So, Randy Moss, he's got an adjective, it's like when you just completely go over the top of a guy. So he mossed a guy. Miles Barsma with a few nice catches. Aaron Champion, who we're seeing a lot of tonight, had a nice game on defense. So JV returns to action on Tuesday versus Uplift. If you live in the Lincoln Park area, you can go and see them. That'll be on the Wilson Avenue Turf Field, so Wilson and Lakeshore Drive. Whitney Young flag football, and I've got to go to my phone for this one because I had the coach send me a few of the stats. So they had they opened conference play, real nice game, but a loss to Taft 14-8. Taft is the defending city champions. Some stats on that. Sonali Angus, she's my fantasy football quarterback. Sonali was 14 of 33 for 185 yards and a touchdown, along with 20 rushing yards. Abby Plotchko with 5 catches for 102. Denise Mehe had that 7-yard touchdown reception, and Nina Lloyd was clamping it down on the outside. 2 interceptions and 2 flag pulls for her. And then they followed up after that loss, a 36-0 win over Ogden. So there we had Marcella Matalana with 5 catches, 60 yards. Dee Dee Dudley with 5 catches for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think if I can get to it, I'm also going to see some additional stats on that. Yes. Thank you, Valerie Spann. Let me get some stats on that Ogden game. So Angus finished the day 10 of 16 with 2 touchdowns for 75 yards. And Hayden, who we mentioned a lot of times here, again, Hayden plays tackle football and also on the flag football team. So Hayden was 6 of 10 with 2 touchdowns, 78 yards. So I think those were Hayden's first touchdown throws as a varsity flag football QB. Again, I mentioned Marcella with those 5 catches. Dee Dee Dudley, her 5 for 68 and 2 touchdowns. And again, Nina Lloyd and London Higginbottom, both with 2 flag pulls and an interception. So that was flag football. As long as I have my phone out, I'm going to check in. My good friend Jason Hockman sent me an update of the Whitney Young soccer team. So soccer has had quite a bit of action already so far this year. Let me work on getting to Jason's update. So here we go. I'm going to read it from Jason. So Whitney Young had a brutal stretch. I heard about this from a few of the parents. 5 games in 7 days to start the season. So real strong. We were given some of those updates last week. So they had a big win over Hinsdale Central. Hinsdale Central is a team rated on the state side. They beat them 4-0. They followed up that with a 2-1 win over Peyton. John Stanton scored the go-ahead goal for the Dolphins with 20 seconds left. After that, the Dolphins traveled and played the number 2 ranked Berwyn on Tuesday. They had that game tied before Berwyn scored 3 unanswered close to the end of the game to win 4-2. And then we opened a conference at Von Steuben, and after dominating the game on goals from Arish Kruskel and John Stanton, there were 2 questionable penalties, resulting in 2 successful Von Steuben penalty kicks and a 3-2 loss. So I think I sense some animosity in Coach Jason Hockman. I call him Coach Hockman because I coach baseball with him. Jason Hockman, the father of both Cole and Charlie Hockman, awesome athletes at Whitney Young. So the soccer team tried to regroup last night at Niles North, and in a physical game, Whitney was trailing 2-1 at half, but having those 5 games in 7 days caught up with them, and they took a 6-1 loss. So far in the season, Reese Keuchel leads Whitney Young with 4 goals. So we'll get more updates on them. So expecting a lot of that boys soccer team during the year. Boys golf, Dolphins started off conference play with a 2-stroke win over Lane Tech. So Lane Tech, very, very strong opponent. Henry Ryland led the way with a 34. So Henry was last year's CPS champion. He's developing a strong rivalry over at Lane Tech. Jackson Hutchinson, somebody that Bennett Newman played Oz Park baseball with. Jackson, a great golfer, and I know that he and Henry have squared off already earlier this year. And again, we're going to look for that Whitney Young Dolphins golf team, the Golfin' Dolphins, both the boys and girls, extremely successful last year, and we'll look to see the same this year. A few other notes: volleyball started off both over Peyton, JV, and varsity with 2-zip wins in volleyball. On the girls' basketball side, Destiny Jackson, if you've ever had a chance to watch her play, she's a dynamic guard on the Whitney Young girls' basketball team. They came out, ESPN Hoop Girls came out with their ratings, and so for the class of 2025, so Destiny going into her junior year, she's ranked as the number 28 prospect in the nation. So it'll be fun to see her in her junior, senior years. On the academic side, U.S. News and World Report ranked Chicago number 10 nationally in quality of public schools. We don't want to get into a big conversation about Chicago public schools, but U.S. News and World Report ranked us as number 10. Those 5 top schools in Illinois, where are they? They're all right here in the city of Chicago. So Walter Payton ranked number 1, Northside College Prep 2, Jones College Prep, where my daughter, Ellison Newman, who is now at Miami University and is giving me updates on the Miami University against the U game that's going on right now. Jones was ranked 3rd. Number 4, Ricky Harris is Whitney Young. Whitney Young ranked 4th in the state of Illinois as a top high school. Lane Tech rounding out that top 5. We're rolling down close to the end of the clock period, but there's always a little bit of extra stretching. So you want to talk a little bit about some other games that are going on in the Chicagoland area. So we mentioned at the top Morgan Park against Mount Carmel. So that was a kickoff at 7:30. So as you know, last week, Mount Carmel over at ISU faced off against East St. Louis. Probably go down as one of the best games of the year until the state playoffs. So that was the 7A champ against the 6A champ. And Mount Carmel with the win in that. They're loaded up, and they had a Jack Elliott, their quarterback, who had played a little bit last year, but his first start, he's a junior. He finished with 285 total yards and 2 touchdowns in that 36-33 win over East St. Louis. Mount Carmel also loaded up. You've got Darian Dupree, who's going to Wisconsin, Alonzo Manning II going to Navy, Maurice Densmore, all offensive dynamos on that Mount Carmel team. Morgan Park opened up the season with a 42-0 shutout over Richards. So that's Suburban Power Richards. So they've got Tyshawn Griffin. We'll see him next week. He's an Illinois commit. They've got a bunch of other guys, Marcus Thaxton, Chris Durr, Javon Clark, all guys that will be playing at the D1 level. We'll see them next week, but tonight they're squaring off against the Caravan at Mount Carmel. A couple other games to note: Lincoln Way East going against Batavia, so that's the number 2 and number 3 teams in the state right now. So they're hammering it out at Batavia. And then Loyola traveling to Naperville North. So Loyola in the Sun Times ranking, number 4 right now, Naperville North, number 19. To note at Loyola, got to get my Northwestern references in here. Last week, quarterback Ryan Fitzgerald, if you recognize that last name, that's Pat Fitzgerald's son, Ryan, who's a starting quarterback at Loyola. He had 98 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and ran for 42 and another score as Loyola opened up with a win. I think that was actually over in Michigan.
Don't both of Olin Krutz's sons play for Loyola?
I'm sure. I mean, they're just loaded up there. I think I'll do a better job on their lineup. But yeah, definitely a lot of talent there. So they're traveling to Naperville North tonight. Naperville North led by Luke Williams. Luke Williams is headed to Purdue. He's a 4-star. I mean, this state has just cranked out wide receiver talent over the last few years. and Luke Williams being one of those. And so we'll check early morning or maybe even late night results on the Sun-Times website to see that. A few other games to note. I mentioned already Maine South with that win over Warren last night. We've got a couple of these are more personal notes, but Carmel Catholic against Lake Forest. So and Bennett Newman trains a lot in the off season up on the north side of Chicago. His coach Byron Dawkins, QB1. Byron has two of his guys. So Johnny Weber, who's a senior at Carmel Catholic. Johnny heading to Southwest Missouri on a scholarship. Against Danny Van Camp. Danny's the starting quarterback at Lake Forest. Danny will definitely play somewhere in college, either in lacrosse or football, whatever he chooses, probably at an Ivy League school, given his academic acumen. So those guys facing off. We got Fenwick at St. Ignatius. So I think we mentioned it maybe at the end of the last week's broadcast. Nate Marshall and let's see. This play-by-play guy is definitely the best in the city. Thank you, Brian Van Welden. I'll pay you off for that one, Brian. So Nate Marshall, Fenwick has offers from Notre Dame, has offers from Bama. He's both on the defensive line, offensive line, going against Justin Scott. Justin Scott, of course, is going to the Ohio State University. We talked last week about who would be that step-in back, who's going to step in for Vinny Rugai, who's playing at Fordham. It is none other than Will Barnett. Will Barnett is a kid that I coached in baseball. I will take no credit for his talents, but also played on an Oz Park team with Bennett Newman, also with Will Carter. Will Carter was a football player here his freshman year, actually had a huge game against Perspectives, recovered two kicks, they weren't really onside kicks, they just weren't kicks that Perspectives picked up. Will Carter picked up both of those, and Will was great. I mean, a freshman came in, big-bodied receiver, never had played tackle football before, but by the end of the year was a huge contributor on that 7-4 team. Will is a dynamite pitcher, was an all-conference, all-CPS guy this season for the Dolphins. So he and Luke Yolich are key players on that Dolphins team. But anyway, Will Barnett is the lead, is the bell cow at Ignatius. So those guys facing off against Fenwick. Hope, as we mentioned, traveled. They got on a plane and traveled out to San Diego. They're facing Santa Fe Christian today. Kenwood against St. Rita. So Kenwood, they don't mess around on their schedule. They played Lincoln Way East last week. They're playing St. Rita tonight.
No cupcakes.
No, absolutely not. Stevenson at Taft. So that'll be interesting. I think Stevenson went up to Kenosha Kemper, had a nice win there. Taft went to Indiana, and they again, we mentioned that a game, because both principals had fought and beaten cancer. They played a charity game down there, and was extremely well received. Saw a lot of stuff on social media about that. Got the loss, but tonight they face off against Stevenson. So that'll be interesting early season game. And then within our CPS Red Division, I think a real one that I'm interested in seeing the outcome is Westinghouse, Hyde Park traveling to Westinghouse. So Westinghouse, a Sky Bully, their all-state quarterback that almost single-handedly handed us a loss last year, going up against Hyde Park. Hyde Park, a team that played at the White last year and moved up to the Red Division, and we will see both of those teams later in the year. So our crack statistician, Brian Barrett, handed me some stats here. First half stats, Whitney and Brian, you've went above and beyond. So we've got time of possession. Perspectives actually led in time of possession. I think some of that was because Whitney Young had some quick strike touchdowns. So Perspectives with 4 minutes, 12 seconds. Whitney Young with 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Whitney Young 4 first downs. Perspective 3 first downs. Total yards for the Dolphins 107, and the Dolphins held Perspective to just 37 yards. Balanced passing game and running game for Whitney Young, 76 yards on the ground, 54 yards through the air. Newman 4 of 8 for 54 yards and those 3 touchdowns. On the rushing side, we've got Yolich 7 for 42, Clayton 3 of 35, and receiving, we got 4 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Rankin 1 catch for 26 yards and a TD. Hood, 1 catch for 25 yards and a TD, and Ngasa, 1 touchdown on 1 catch for 6 yards.
Here we go for the
All right.
start of the second half. Perspectives kicking off. This is the first time we've seen the Warriors kicking team.
Yep. So back deep for Whitney Young. We have
It's like Rankin and
Maxwell Warner, I hope. Rankin always helps me out because he has blue shoes, so I can always see him. Rankin is on the far side, and we'll see. I believe that's Max Warner, closest to us, deep. Perspectives is going to kick it away there. Well, actually, you got to get on that. Nice job. Great job calling the fair catch. Dominic Duenas. That is not something that's super intuitive. So that was the 56-degree wedge off the tee, straight up in the air. And immediately, Duenas, a senior, got his arm up in the air on the fair catch signal, made the catch, and gives the Dolphins great field position.
This is Whitney Young Magnet High School, selective enrollment. So
Duenas proven he studied the nuances of the game on that. So that was great. Nick Dale, center, going to deliver the ball to Bennett Newman.
Flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Dead ball.
False start against the Whitney Young.
False start might have been on one of the wide receivers on the east side, on the far side from us. Again, Dolphins traveling north to south. That'll back them up 5 yards to the Warrior 38-yard line. So first down, again, offensive line, Jason Perez, Juan Cepeda, Nick Dale, Babanefesimi Opedele, and MJ Woods. Newman at quarterback, Maxwell Warner. And again, that did not look good either from a timing perspective. I didn't see who jumped there, but a little off on the timing for the Dolphins.
Looked like the left side of the line. This is not how we wanted to start the second half.
Oh, exactly. Got to be sharper out of the breaks on these things, you know? And again, it's like, you got a 21-0 lead, but you got to keep your – maybe you jinxed it by calling it Whitney Young Magnet High School, Scott. Why do you keep doing that, man?
At least I'm consistent. At least I'm consistent.
So we'll see if we got the same play called here, which has been an inside run to Max Warner. Warner having a lot of conversations with Newman. He's has spent the season most of the summer, and that's Newman looking his way. He's overthrowing him. So I think that's, again, not knowing exactly how that was supposed to work out. I thought Newman was throwing it more as a wheel route to Max Warner, and Max sort of settled down over on the side. So you could tell there were the conversations that were going on between the two of those. I don't feel like Maxwell was super confident in what he was supposed to do on that play.
Just his second year playing.
Yeah, and again, a guy who has a national track schedule and was doing that most of the summer, joined the team in early August. So he stays in there at running back. Hood closest to us as a receiver. Newman at quarterback. There's a handoff to Warner. Get some legs going and probably picks up about 3 on the play. Maybe a little more than 3. I'm going to give him 5 on that. We'll see what our statistician gave him. So it brings up 3rd and a long 15, 16 yards. Newman will be into the wind on this. Now, we've had really nice pass protection out of that offensive line. So DeMille, Ngasa closest to us on this side. Rankin and Hood on the far side. Newman with time.
Plenty of time.
He's going to DeMille. DeMille just out of his reach. I think DeMille was doing some hand fighting with the DB there, and I think he didn't. I'm not saying it was a pass interference.
I think
but
he was looking for the flag.
Yeah, so there was I think he could have run away from the guy, and I think he was maybe getting held a little bit, and he was trying to brush the DB's hand off of him, and just ended up a little bit short. So Newman overshoots DeMille. So the Dolphins will have to kick the ball away. You got Lockett back there, so let's see if Bardsma can put this somewhere where Lockett doesn't end up with a big head of steam. So he did that, sails it over to the far side, and the ball with a nice Dolphin roll gets into Dolphin territory, going to roll out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So, again, with a dynamic athlete like Lockett back there, more than happy to kick that one to the far side of the field.
No need to help him pad his stats.
Nope. I think I did have. So in the first half, for the Warriors, Parker was 2 of 8 for 24 yards. Bell carried 6 times for 26 yards. Harris 3 times for 10. And Lockett had both of those completions from Parker, 2 catches for 24 yards. So I was saying Parker, it's Parks, Jeremiah Parks. 5'9", 185-pound senior for the prospective Warriors. He's back there looking for the snap. He's got the snap. It's low. He wings it out to Lockett. Off Lockett's hands. Javon Hobbs thinking he could have got that ricochet. But
either that or Lockett's ribs.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was looking more ricochet. I think I would have been looking more ribs, but that says something about me.
Which is why we get along, Barry.
All right, so incomplete pass on first down. Just starting here means I got to switch our scoreboard, which says it's still halftime, but it is the third quarter. Trying to do it all here.
How's our camera guy doing?
I hope he's doing well. It looks like he's doing well over there. All right, second down. Parks ready to collect the snap. Parks, ball bounces on the ground. He picks it right back up. And he is just incomplete. Coverage by Anthony Hood.
We got a flag on the play.
The ball was headed to Christopher Smith. I hope we don't have a flag.
Well, it looked like one of the officials was signaling illegal procedure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So illegal procedure on the Warriors. That'll back them up 5. So Parks did a nice job. The ball bounced back up to him. He's still got his eyes around, looked downfield, but an incomplete pass. Again, talk about Anthony Hood.
I'm not sure that was a play. I thought I heard a whistle.
Oh, maybe a whistle before. Well,
so that was a dead ball.
Yeah, so dead ball looks like maybe some changes going in. Your big man Kevin Suddeth, 6'5", 305, checking in. Another big guy, Amarius Connor, 6'3", 300, checking out.
Sounds like a fair trade to me.
Picked up 5 pounds of beef on that. So I did talk to Coach Finger. He's got a lot of respect for this Perspectives program. Fourth down, is fourth down correct on that? They're calling it fourth down, and they're bringing the punting unit on the field.
So apparently it was
Brian Barrett definitely does not have it as fourth down.
We declined the penalty.
Okay, so we may have missed a play in there, but regardless, we've got the prospective Warriors going to kick the ball away. They got the wind behind them. Back deep for the Dolphins is number 3, Anthony Hood, and they got a trick play in this one, unless we shut it down, which we do shut it down. That's Javon Hobbs making that play. Javon Hobbs closing nicely on that. So I think the Warriors are putting the clubs away for the day, and they're just gonna run from that position.
Nice perspective of the moon rising over the
Oh,
school
that
building.
is nice. It might be a little low for our camera angle, but we're going to see that shortly. That's sort of like is that a harvest moon?
No, we had a blue moon 2 nights ago. This is a new moon, but it's at the closest point to Earth in the elliptical orbit.
See, that's why you guys tune in. Hand off to Maxwell Warner. He's heading the wrong way right now, but now he's heading the right way, and he's turning it up, and he gives himself a nice 5-6 yard gain right there. So that's some of that speed. Didn't look like it was going to work out very well, but
really
Max
did
was
not.
able to get that corner.
He's a big body, good speed. Only a sophomore.
So call it 5 yards on the gain for Maxwell Warner. I'm sure some nice blocks over on that side from MJ Woods. We always wish we could do some close-up and instant replays to give those offensive linemen a little bit more credit because they deserve it. So Newman back to pass, looking over to Rankin, bounces it into Rankin.
Oh,
You're going to get a penalty on that for number 33, Justin Harris. Not a smart play on his part. So the ball bounced low to Rankin. Rankin collected the ball, and I don't know. It could be that that coming from that linebacker position, Harris didn't see that it was an incomplete pass. I mean, didn't hear the whistles, but regardless of that, led with his helmet, and is something that they're going to march off 15 yards.
they're going to call that every time.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta
not only
protect
was
the
it
players.
physically obvious, it was you could hear the crack up here. So that gives the Dolphins a first down inside the 30, so the 28-yard line, first down. DeMille, wide receiver to the right, along with Gassa, Rankin, and Hood to Newman's left. Hood in motion. We just cannot get
The timing right.
that timing right at all. So kind of grinding here a little bit, Scott. We're grinding in the third quarter. Neither team is able to really put some things together here and just positive yardage plays other than everybody marching backwards.
Well, that's the third rap reference. Grinding is a song by the Clips.
Well, there you go. See? DeMille, wide receiver far right. Gassa in the slot. Rankin and Hood to the far side. Newman looking, going deep to Rankin again. Rankin's got it. Lasso down inside the 5-yard line. So Newman went back to the athleticism of Rankin, matching up one-on-one. They brought Hood across that in motion to start with. Looks like Dolphins are also trying to play with a little bit of tempo here. So Newman over with the play quickly. The ball looks like it is on the 1 yard line. I think a whole bunch of guys back there saying, could I get it? Could I get it? Could I get it?
Little power.
So Newman lined up under center. This isn't something that happens very often. Newman keeping it. Newman driving it. Touchdown for Bennett Newman on the ground.
I thought we might get a middle name.
No one more surprised in here than the Newman family. I'm spying Al Newman, Bennett's grandpa, over to my right.
Big smile.
Just not something we see all that often out of Bennett, but he got the call. They called his number. Not sure he necessarily got the pad super low, but he got across with the help of his friends on the offensive line. So 27-0. Barrett with the snap coming up to Von Conrad.
The kicks are getting better each time.
Solomon Bradley getting some elevation off of that. And it puts the Dolphins up 28-0. 28-0 here.
Proud dad moment.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I mean, I saw him under center, and I'm like, come on, nah. And then he got it. I'm like, oh, geez, you better get it across at this point. That's good. That was fun. It's fun. A rushing touchdown. So Bennett Newman right now, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown.
I'd be interested to see his QBR.
Well, I mean, I'd say this. I mean, in that first half, it was only 4 completions. It was just that 3 were touchdowns. So, but here, nice completion to Rankin to set that up. So definitely some good totals. I'm sure that Brian will be giving us those shortly, and we can update everybody on that. Not putting them under any pressure or anything like that.
Again, another example of the Dolphin resiliency. We started off that drive with some penalties.
Penalties. Now we got lucky with that unsportsmanlike conduct call on leadership. Leadership checking some guys in here. Remy, how you doing over there on the camera? You having fun? All right. Remy Vaudel helping us out tonight. Appreciate that. Appreciate Brian Barrett on stats. Scott, always appreciate you.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Miles Bardsma kicks it away. A reverse. Let's see if the Dolphins, they stay home. Nice tackle over on the side by number 25, Rayton Scotemere. That's his second big-time special teams play of the day.
Bodies flying all over the place.
Yeah, actually, we got one down over here on this side, Dolphins. So
can't see the number.
Yeah, actually, well, and I won't speculate, but he's up. He's just not quite getting up yet. Might have a cramp issue going on. So got trainers over taking a look at him.
It's immediate. Start stretching out his.
Yep, stretching out, and then the water comes over. So that's the one thing I picked up in my 2+ years as a live streamer, my 3 years as the live streamer, is that I feel a little bit better when I see the water bottle coming out and guys stretching out. So we'll catch that number here shortly. Again, if you're just joining us, we've got the Dolphins on top, 28-0. So the first half, we had the Dolphins score touchdown passes to Rankin, to Anthony Hood. Rank is a 26-yarder, Hood a 25-yarder. Harrison Gassa on a 6-yard touchdown. And we just saw a short touchdown run, a 1-yard touchdown run from Bennett Newman. So that was Javon Hobbs getting helped off the field. So, we saw him have a nice play on defense and on special teams. So Javon doing a nice job today. Get over there, get some hydration.
A little hot sauce.
I'm going to get some hydration myself right now. A quick one, right? Although they always pause a little bit on their snap, so.
I think they take it right down to the 40-second mark.
In motion. Ball snaps. We get to Aaron Champion go for a TFL in his book, but that was a wayward snap that Parks could not corral. So a loss of close to over 10 yards actually on that. I think right around 10 yards on the wayward snap.
Just about, yeah. I think this is that fatigue factor starting to set in.
Yeah, and again, Perspectives played a nice game last week against King, so they were a 36-20 winner. Team coming off an 8-2 state playoff season last year, and I would expect them again. They're going to probably pick up some steam throughout the year when they play their conference schedule. They're gonna look good. Right now, I think a little bit of the early season. Just struggling a little bit on these things. Aaron Champion. I don't know how that works on the because in high school technically you're down with your knee, so I don't know if that goes as a team tackle. But if not, Aaron Champion back to back
racking up the TFLs,
man. Those are some stickers. There's a Dolphin fundraiser going on right now for stickers. So everybody out there, maybe talk to your Dolphin player, your Dolphin family. So each of the players earn stickers for various positive contributions throughout the course of the week and definitely on game day. So
both on and off the field.
Absolutely, and that's part of the program. That's part of the culture of the program. It's not just about guys making big plays. It's about guys showing up, guys practicing hard, guys doing their jobs. And so we appreciate Coach Dan Finger for all of that. So 3rd and a long, long way. Jolich looking for a blitz up the middle. This is where Banks can be trouble, and he gets almost all the way up to a first down. Parks across the 50. So
Clayton slowed him down a little bit.
I don't know who eventually made that tackle over there. It is not a first down.
It's 4th and 5.
I love the enthusiasm of this public address announcer. He's good at getting back to correct things. So a huge pickup there, probably a 30-yard pickup for Parks on that quarterback keeper right to the 50-yard line. So this brings up a 4th down and about 4. So this maybe if the Dolphin defense was breathing a little bit of sigh of relief, Parks put them back on their heels on that play.
It's like a little confusion.
Yep, so Parks deep. Lockett is closest to us, closest down here, and he's got quite a cushion. So I wouldn't doubt if Parks is going to look his way. You got Hobbs over the top of him. Looking. Parks is rolling. He's looking that way. He's got him deep. Rankin with an awesome PBU. Awesome PBU with actually, would look better in his stat book, but better on the field from a yardage perspective for the Dolphins to collect the ball at the 50. But that was a really nice play. Rankin over there playing some D in the second half, showing off those basketball leaping skills. Again, Nazir Rankin, look him up on social media, everybody. Look him up on Instagram or X, and you'll see some of his basketball highlights. He's a guy that has no problem dunking the basketball and probably hasn't since he was an 8th grader.
I missed it. Are they calling it a sack? Or?
No, I think it was. He didn't intercept it. We thought that he intercepted it, but it was just incomplete. So it was 4th down, and the Dolphins take over.
Clayton
Newman at quarterback. He little RPO over, and too many people in the area. So it was an RPO. Newman pulled it at the last second, flipped it over where both Rankin and Hood were in the vicinity. So it goes as an incomplete pass.
Clayton put a pop on Parks.
Parks playing both ways as well. He's playing one of the defensive, maybe either outside, I think a defensive back slot on the other side. So second down and 10 from the 50. I think that we might have Jolich checking back in on the running back side, and that is Jolich. And Jolich picks his way across. First down. Nice job. Nice job by Jolich. Looks like we've got a Dolphin offensive lineman down on the field. But Jolich with a really nice first down run on that. Just that little zone read on the inside. That's what we saw out of him the first possession of this game when he collected 40 yards on that first drive, just hitting a hole up the middle.
Got 5 minutes, 3 seconds. The water bottle's out.
Yeah. And actually, when I saw him go down, I thought maybe that was going on as well. So again, a little bit of humidity in the air. That's number 58. That's MJ Woods. So Marquise Woods, MJ Woods, left tackle. Again, we talk about him starting since day one. Talk about him starting as a kid with a birthday that he was a 13-year-old going up against Simeon last year. So playing a nice job today. We'll have to see who will check in for him. We'll try to get the number on that. Again, that offensive line, Dale, Opedele, Cepeda, Jason Perez. Can't quite see over the top. I don't know if that would be Dylan Piracini, who played last week in Cepeda's spot. We'll try to catch it. Newman hands it off. Jolich again. Jolich with some positive yardage.
Looks like a
So,
gain
yeah,
of
it's
3.
Dylan Piracini checking into that offensive line spot in place of MJ Woods. They did not hesitate to keep pounding the middle and left side of that line. So,
They
good
only
news,
gave-
I think MJ right back in.
They only gave him 2 yards on the carry.
Little hot sauce properly administered. And so MJ Woods back in the game. Newman collects the play. 2nd down and 8 at the Warriors' 38-yard line. Rankin and Hood to the top side. Gassa and DeMille closest to us. Jolich in the backfield. Rankin in motion. A little flip pass to him. Rankin looking for a spot. Spin move.
He's still on his
Still
feet.
moving. Still spinning. And
About a yard short of the
close
first
to
down.
the first down, but just
Nick Dale looks like he's no, that's not Nick.
it might be always tough. We'll try to get to who that was. Also look like it could be. Again, we watch for water bottles on this, and I don't want to ever minimize and think that it's always cramping, but that's what they did immediately.
Water and stretching.
I think it might have been. It might be. We see 52 standing out there, but I think it might be Jason Perez. I'm sure his mom, Barbie Diaz, is here, checking him out. So a nice play by Rankin. So that's it's a pass completion on the little forward flip from Newman to Rankin. Rankin, you're just trying to find a spot over there.
Looks like there's some smiles down there. The trainer's smiling. He's getting a hard time from the official, it looks like.
Well, good Lord, if it's Jason Perez, yeah, I don't know which. I think maybe it was Tony McHale. They said, like, that guy he's gonna be a politician. Now, I actually like Jason, so I think Jason's a genuine guy, right? So I'm not sure if there are any politicians listening. No offense to any of you guys out there. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? But Jason is a great guy. A lot of fun to be around. Always spots me if I happen to be at practice. Always comes over and chats me up. So if he's the guy that's down, and he's got everybody going there. He's got Finger going. He's got the trainer. He's got the official. He got all their numbers. He's texting them right now. So Jason Perez getting some hydration. We'll see who checks in. If Dylan's going to flip over to that side, Dylan Piracini, who checked in for MJ Woods. So we may have a little bit of this going on. Might have a little bit of a slog here, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully you've got your Sorelli's Finer Food sandwich and your beverage of your choice. We've got 3:41 left here in the third quarter. Clock starts rolling. Dolphins up 28-0. Newman with Jolich behind him. Hand off to Jolich. Jolich looking for it and got the first down. I think he got the first down yardage. Our public address announcer is saying no gain. We'll see. Maybe it is. Maybe it is no gain, and we're going to go to a 4th down here.
He did not make the line to gain.
So kind of thought he got it up to the 30. They're going to have to get to the 30. Ball is 1 yard away from a first down. 4th and 1 at the 31 of the Warriors.
Do we call Newman's number again?
I don't think so. And they're going not from under center. So Newman, Jolich trips to the left. Hood on his own on the side. They're going to try to go deep on this. Newman looking outside the pocket. He drills it in to Rankin. Rankin to the. Give me a signal to the 1.
He's calling illegal linemen downfield.
Oh. So that play took a little bit of time to develop. Newman with a rolling to his left sidearm rifle to Rankin, who got it on the run.
And he's got to go out because he lost his hat.
So that was, I think, Cepeda.
That was Cepeda.
Cepeda's helmet came off. Looks like number 50, Alexander Oshesky, checking in. And now that backs up the Dolphins 5 yards. So now they've got a 4th and 6. Clock running here with 2:36. It's actually not running, but the referee is signaling it to run. Now it's going. He's winding the clock. So let's see. Again, earlier in this game, we've seen the Dolphins be able to rally after some penalties and pick up some first downs. Let's see if Bennett Newman and the Dolphins can do it again here. So Anthony Hood and Rankin are closest to us. Ngasa and DeMille, receivers far. Rankin in motion now. Newman with Jolich next to him. Jolich, nice blitz pickup. Newman just overthrows Hood. So that is ball is gonna turn over on downs. Great job by Luke Jolich picking up the blitzer.
Is having a great game. And those are the types of plays that you don't get credit for on the stat sheet, but he I don't know. Newman may owe him a Sorelli sandwich after that play.
That is I think that can be provided, definitely. Yeah. So he saved him. Newman has yet to be sacked in this game. So that offensive line is keeping him clean. The penalty there negated what would have been a play down to the 1 yard line. So 28-0, 1:55 left here in the third quarter. Warriors take over. Warriors led by Jeremiah Parks, their quarterback. We've seen his speed. We saw him get out of the pocket on a 3rd and forever and almost convert a first down. And again, Tyrell Lockett, the 6'2", 195 senior, number 3, who's also somebody that you got to constantly keep your eyes on. I think he's closest to us. He's the receiver closest to us. He's got Maxwell Warner over the top of him right now. Parks calling the signals. They've had some trouble on the center to quarterback exchange. And that, Nick Dale, Joseph Clayton, Boubacar Berry, all there saying hello to Dejon Bell. And the public address announcer here says no game, but I say tackle for loss. 2-yard loss on that play. Brings up 2nd and 12. Great penetration. Nick Dale having a day. Having a day on the D-line.
He got off that ball quick.
He sure did. And that we saw this D-line, this arrangement with Boubacar Berry checking in. So that puts Berry on the nose. Nick Dale moves over to an end position, and Baba Nefesimi Opadele. So that this combo, I think, netted us a couple TFLs the last time they were in together. So Boubacar, Baba Boubacar, Nick Dale front, paying some dividends right now. 2nd and 12. Parks at quarterback for the Warriors.
Looks like they're running a wing.
Well, that does happen with this team a little bit. So Bell stopped up, gets to the outside, pops to the outside. He's still on his feet. Dragged down by Nasir Rankin. But I thought that was just, he did a nice job finding the outside. So they'll go back on film there. I think that will be Coach O.D. saying somebody maybe left their outside assignment on that side. Maybe a little freelance in there. So that picks up a first down.
On a play like that, that tells me the defensive end did not stay at home.
Yeah, and in this 3-4 alignment, it's D-end or that outside linebacker on that side. Thankfully, we can't see numbers as far away.
Yeah, if last year is any indication, I think I know who it is, but I'll keep that to myself.
All right, so we're going to move to the fourth quarter here. Whitney Young Dolphins leading the prospective Warriors 28-0.
Shout out to Coach Malik if he's listening. I think he's screaming at the
Probably.
computer screen.
I hope you're there, Coach Malik. I hope you're tuning into the live stream. Hope you're ordering up some Sorelli's subs right now, everybody. Italian beef sandwich. That certainly would be good. Certainly would be good. We do have a beautiful night here, again, on Chicago's south side. Just excellent weather. We'll be pining for this weather in a couple months from now, as the
might be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, it could be. Where it is the Midwest. If you look at that upcoming schedule for the Dolphins, again, Morgan Park, and we will talk a lot about Morgan Park this week. We talked to them before. I mean, just tons of D1 talent. They're going up against Mount Carmel tonight, so we face off against them. It's a home game for us at Lane Stadium, historic Lane Stadium. Always fun to travel there. We follow up that the next Friday, so that's next Friday, 7:15 kick. You get your Sorelli sandwich and your beverage of your choice. Be ready for that game. Curry, we'll play Curry at Rockney, home game for us on the 15th. Big time game against Westinghouse on the 22nd. So that's that upcoming schedule. Think about this season sort of in thirds when you got that 9-game regular season schedule. So we're on game 2 right now. Again, Dolphins came in 0-1 after a first week loss to Hope. Perspectives came in 1-0, but right now Dolphins with a 28-0 lead. Quarterback for the Warriors is Jeremiah Parks. Waiting for the snap. Loaded up backfield right now. We'll see what play comes out of this. Inside handoff. Nice penetration. Tackled Clayton there. Somebody else was in there first. I think that was Rayton Scoutmere. Actually, Dominic Duenas. So Dom Duenas playing that other inside linebacker spot. Now in there with Joseph Gray out this week. So Duenas played some last week, and he had a nice special teams fair catch earlier this game. So Dom cleaning some things up there. Looking at some of the other guys again. Quinn Duhan, we hope he's back quickly. So he's out with a hammy. Put Hood in that deep safety position, but we've seen Pantoja out there, Max Warner, Nasir Rankin, Javon Hobbs, all doing a nice job in the defensive backfield tonight. Aaron Champion in that star position in Tyson Hayes' spot. Handoff up the middle, really
good penetration.
Yeah, and everybody wanted to get on that, right? So good job on the D-line, I think, Obadele, and then Clayton, and then out of nowhere, Hood's like, hey, I want in on some of this action.
I want a piece.
I've been standing here in this deep safety all day. I got nothing going on. How about throwing me a bone here? I'm going to take it myself.
Wow,
so Hood just came flying in.
Talk about forward progress.
Yeah, that's sort of ridiculous. I mean, their marking has no gain, even though that play never got going forward. And
they were 7 yards in the backfield.
Yeah, yep. So brings up third down. Third down. That line. MJ Woods now in on D. So MJ, Nick Dale. Nick Dale's like, I'm not coming off the field, man. I kind of like this defense. Bob and Efesimi Opadele all on the line. Aaron Champion sneaking up there, number 17. Parks the quarterback with Bell next to him, I believe. Parks looking deep. Got good penetration by MJ Woods, but he gets the corner, and he's going to have a lot of room to run out there. Clayton and Hood closing on him. But that's something Parks had 2 rushing touchdowns last week in their game against King. And when he breaks contain on the outside, he can make a team pay.
Yeah, thought we had him
stopped. So a play like that takes a little while, and again, it's MJ Woods, really nice penetration, but Parks was able to break the outside containment, and a nice long gainer for him inside right at the Dolphin 30-yard line. I know Coach O.D., Coach Malik, if you're listening, I know that everybody wants to pitch a shutout here. Plenty of time left, though. 9:46 left in the fourth quarter. Dolphins up 28-0, but the Warriors on a drive right now. Parks with that big first down pickup. Parks at quarterback, Bell to his right, giving some different offensive formation looks to the Dolphins. There's a snap, rolling, just out of the reach of the wide receiver. So actually, Perspectives was at the 7-on-7. I think they were at the 7-on-7. Anyway, Parks is a solid quarterback. We've seen a lot from him tonight. And again, I think what you'll see, this team, when they're facing off in their CPS white season, you're going to see more of what you saw last week and how they played against the team from King when they won 36-20. Again, Terry Jones, the head coach here. He's got 56 wins over his 13 years, into his 14th year, so give him 57 after last week's win. And I know Coach Finger, I talked to the coach on his way in, and just he's on a number of the different IHSA and CPS committees. He's a great football guy and put together a good program here at Leadership, Perspectives Leadership. So Parks at quarterback, Bell to his right. Again, we're always trying to make sure we know where Tyrell Lockett, number 3, is. So Parks
left.
now on his own in the back. Got 5 receivers out there, empty backfield. Parks looking deep. Maxwell Warner is going to get called on a flag. Well, you want to watch that on the replay there. A little bit of interaction between the two of them. I think really tough to call pass interference penalty. Maxwell Warner making a great catch on that ball, but it will go down as a pass interference call, bringing the ball to the 15-yard line. We got our coaches just over our shoulder. I don't think Coach Dale was happy about that call. He's got a smile on his face, but he's not happy about it.
A little incidental contact, maybe.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little bit down low as they were both going up for the ball. But nevertheless, brings up a first down for the Warriors. 9:34 left here in the game. Dolphins leading 28-0. Again, now the Warriors go into that empty set again, so just Parks on his own back there. See if we can get some pressure. Just 5 down linemen. Parks is going to take it himself. He got some speed. And Gassa and Warner closed on him over there. So
Clayton looked like he was trying to direct traffic.
Yeah. I'm just getting a kick out of the public address announcer who said that was inside the 5-yard line at the 10-yard line. He's optimistic. I like this guy a lot. I mean, I can be probably accused of being overly optimistic on certain things. But that ball, so a 5-yard pickup.
I mean, there's optimism and there's delusion. It's a fine line.
Hey, he's a glass 3/4 full, man. All right, so Warriors with the ball at the 10. Now they give a running back, and that might actually be Lockett back there. But Parks, the quarterback. Dolphins got to be watching him, too. He's shown how dynamic he is, and that's what it is. Lockett was back there, did a really nice job. Joseph Clayton. Yeah, baby.
He knifed in.
He sure did. I mean, so they were running the option. They're trying to get the ball to their 2 most dynamic guys, right? So Parks, and it was Lockett, their wide receiver, who they had as a deep back, and Parks, they were running the option over there, and Joseph Clayton said, not on my watch.
He's gotten to know Parks pretty well today. He's put a couple of nice licks on him.
Well, Clayton plays defense like he drives. He leaves a mark.
Hey, there are. I find new indentations.
Indentations. That's optimistic.
I'll be walking the dog, and I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't there yesterday.
All right, so 3rd down. I think that maybe lost a yard. 3rd and 6 from the 11. Parks as the quarterback for the Warriors. Now they want to get this in. Handoff to Bell up the middle. Closed up quickly. Great job on the middle and right-hand side of that Dolphin offensive or defensive line. I think that, again, that was Clayton jumping in on that.
Actually, no, I think that might have been Ngasa.
Okay, so Ngasa with a tackle. 4th down. All right, Dolphin D. Let's pitch a shutout here. 7:55 left in the 4th quarter. This is the deepest drive that Perspectives has had on the day. Parks, the QB, Bell to his right. See if we can get some pressure from the Dolphin D. Parks getting some pressure off the side from Ngasa, which forces him to overthrow his receiver. A little late action on the play, maybe Babanefasimi Opadele and whoever he was locked up with, but I see no laundry on the field on that. So good job of Harrison coming off the edge. Harrison Ngasa again. You gotta let me get the Harrison 6'5", 195. So he got all of that 6'5" reach up there, which didn't allow Parks to make that connection with his wide receiver over on the side. But it does have the Dolphins backed up. So they're going to start with the ball at their 10-yard line.
But my favorite phrase, Dolphins take over on down.
Yeah, you got it. The sticks are way off right now, but they'll get that figured out. In the wrong spot and the wrong down and everything else. But Newman is back there. Running back next to him, I think, Yolich, although I can't tell from here. So inside run, it is Yolich. Yolich falling forward. Just getting that quick hitter north and south, especially backed up where they are. So pickup of, we'll see where they mark it. Pickup of 2, I think, on the play.
Got our stats.
All right, great. So the last drive, last drive was a monster drive for the Warriors. 12 plays, only netted 41 yards in those 12 plays, 6 minutes and 19 seconds. That is enough time to put down a Sorelli's Italian beef sandwich. Newman at quarterback, Yolich next to him. Newman back to pass. He's got some time. He's looking over. He's got Hood. Hood still upfield. First down across the 30-yard line. Hood showing off some of that speed, some of those wheels. So Newman has shown his arm. A couple rockets in there today. He rifled it in there, and then Hood did the rest of it. So picking up that first down across the 30. So pickup of 18 on that play. I know Newman would like to get Will the Thrill DeMille, who gave him a bunch of rides over the summer before Newman had a driver's license. A payback here on a nice pass would be good for him. But a handoff to Yolich.
Eating up some clock.
Yep, keep the clock running. Gain of 1. I'm not going to say no gain. We'll see where they mark it. So DeMille, number 10, was targeted early, almost hooked up with Newman on a long pass down the right-hand sideline. So again, he's stepping into the lineup with both Joseph Gray, Barry Gordon, and Quinn Duhan down with injuries. Want to get those guys back healthy for next week. But a good showing by the Dolphins on the field today. And Ngasa coming in motion. There they finally get that right. Nice pickup. Yolich almost across the first down. So they worked on that play. We had a bunch of illegal motions on it. We had a hold on it earlier, and finally it was executed, which is good. Put that on tape and watch that again.
I have to admit I was holding my breath.
yeah. But Yolich, again, he's putting together a nice day here. Couple big gainers. Running game really, again, passing game has netted the touchdowns, 3 of the 4 touchdowns, and the run came from Newman. So I'm sure that the running backs are going to give him some trouble on that one right now because they're doing the heavy work. Maxwell Warner checking in at running back. So DeMille closest to us, Rankin with the blue shoes that we can see next to him. Ngasa. Newman looking over to Hood, just overthrows him.
I got to tell you, Newman's throws today have been smoking.
Got some velo. 12 got some velo on it. That one maybe would have benefited from maybe throwing the changeup, taking a little off at least. Throw the four-seamer. So yeah, that one whistled through there, outside of the reach of Hood. So brings up second down.
We had a late substitute.
Not quite seeing what's going on the leadership side. So Newman in an empty set right now. We haven't seen this, so this is a Trek play. So Newman, you got Jolich going back at Jolich faked the. Oh, an interception. So there's a flag down on the play, although I think it's going to be on the Dolphins. So that was a Jolich got the direct snap. Fake.
Warrior players down.
They got a fake reverse to Newman, and then Jolich threw it. It was intercepted, and the flag was on the Dolphins.
I'm sorry,
so
the Warriors trainer, God bless her heart, she's running about a 30-second 40 to get.
Oh, yeah, because she's heading over there on the other, so their players down on the far side of the field. So the trick play awry. I actually saw that one in practice on Thursday when I stopped by, and it was kind of fun looking, right? And it's like you get Jolich has a great arm, right? Jolich is an all-city shortstop, and so he can throw it. But maybe a little too much dialed up, but it's always kind of fun, right? So he was looking for a Hood over on the right-hand sideline.
What was the call? What was the penalty? Was it holding?
It was not holding, but I don't know what it was. And it was declined.
I'm sure. I don't think this is a cramp. I think he took a pop.
Took a pop on the end of that play after the interception. So we hope he's okay over there. I'm going to go back. We started talking about upcoming games for Whitney Young. So Kerry Westinghouse. And then closing the year with 3 games. Actually all away games. Although, a lot of these games you're not necessarily playing. Actually, all of those we will be playing at opposing schools, right?
The injured player was Lockett.
Was Lockett, okay.
Off on his own.
Not sure if he had the INT. Could have been. So last 3 games of the year, you got Hyde Park, Clark, and Taft. Oh, actually, I'm off one here. Hyde Park, Clark, Taft. Bulls Prep is the last game of the year. So last game of the regular season is the 20th of October. That's going to be both homecoming and senior night. Again, we've talked a lot about this, but from a city and state playoff perspective, and I should look this up or ask Coach Finger. My thought is that for city playoffs, at the red level, there are now 4 clusters of 4 teams. And what would make sense to me would be that the top 2 of each of those 4 clusters is who gets a city playoff bid. And so our cluster is Westinghouse, Taft, and Bulls. So there might be more to be said about that, but I think your key wins on your schedule are going to be Westinghouse, Taft, and Bulls. So we'll see. Now, Warriors get the ball back right at midfield. Parks, the quarterback, handoff. Nice block on the outside for the Warriors. And eventually Anthony Hood comes over and sticks a shoulder in. Rankin and his guy ended up over on the track, and we got a flag that's coming all the way over. So we'll see if that might go against the Dolphins for a little late action, although I think we'll see. Maybe he's so we got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct call. Both sides, so that's going to go against Rankin and the guy he was locked up with. Action headed our way on that. So it was a nice running play, little jet sweep action. I think that was number 18 on the carry, number 18, McQuell Harris. He's a junior wide receiver, 5'7", 160 pounds. I think he was the guy that collected it and took it up about a 9 Call it an 8-yard gain on that. So I think
We have an ejection.
Coach Finger, either it was an ejection or Coach Finger is telling him to come off, telling him to hustle off right now. I think he's got Anthony Hood coming off the field as well. I think maybe just Anthony pulling him off after that, putting the shoulder down and tackling the guy, getting some other guys in the game. So we'll try to do a job about telling you who is checked in. Clayton, of course, is still in. We got Dominic Duenas and Clayton at those linebacker positions. We got some new defensive backs in. Watch where Lockett is, everybody. Parks the quarterback for the Warriors. Maxwell Warner still in. Here comes that same look, although they do the inside run to Bell, and the ball was out. So I think Aaron Champion may be on the hit over there. And the ball came free, and one of the Warriors' offensive linemen jumped on top of that. I think that was Talia Moore, 5'8", 255. So, yeah, let's see some numbers. Oh, we got Brandon Dockett out here on the field, so he's playing corner on this side, checking into Rankin's spot. I think on the far side, Miles Bardsma. So, Miles Bardsma, kickoff specialist. Bardsma, a sophomore, also has looked good on the JV team, so he's getting some varsity action right now at that far side corner. Park's still going at quarterback for the Warriors. Ball in the Dolphins side. Parks keeping it with a nice gainer. Pantoja eventually slows him up downfield. So Parks, without a doubt, he can hit the accelerator. One step back and 30 steps forward on that. So Pantoja hung in there, made the tackle. So now Clayton coming off.
3 minutes left in the game.
3 minutes left in the game. Coach O'Donnell going to some of his backup guys, but everybody, hey, let's still looking for the shutout here, not trying to get greedy.
Yeah, we are.
We are, absolutely. So Dockett, corner, Pantoja talking about where his coverage is right now with Dockett. They're trying to make sure that they have everything squared there with everybody, some of the new guys in. I think we're also seeing some of those. Alexander Oshesky is in on the nose. So I think we have some of those younger guys. I think Dylan Piercini also in on the D-line spot. You got Parks as the QB, Bell next to him. 2:10 left. Clock keeps ticking. These plays are taking a long time for perspectives to get off. Inside, actually, that's Parks keeping it. Nice tackle. Nice tackle. Rayton Scotemere. So Rayton, already some special teams tackles. Now he's getting, and Rayton was talked about by his JV coaches last year as being the best tackler on that team. He had some nice plays in the last varsity game last year against Hubbard. So clock running. Warriors do not seem that enthusiastic about trying to score here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that. You would think they might want to go no huddle.
So 1:26 left. Ticking. Parks at quarterback. He's got Bell next to him. They've got second and about 7. Second and 7. Clock running down to 1:07. There's a snap. Parks is keeping it. He's looking to throw. Completion. Although still wrestling for it. So that was Pantoja. Pantoja wrestling for it at the end. I think maybe we're going to get a timeout. Now we get a timeout with 51 seconds left. Timeout, first timeout of the second half.
Give it up for the cheerleaders. Give it up for the cheerleaders of the prospective Warriors.
So I think it's safe to say we can put this one in the books.
I think that we could turn off the lights. Turn off the lights, please.
A little Teddy Pendergrass.
also J. Cole, just because I wanted to throw in my rap reference. So 51 seconds left again. Dolphins leading 28-0. If you're just checking in because you were out doing something less important and now you're checking in to what you really should be doing on a Friday night, is joining Scott and me on the call of the Dolphins and the Warriors. You got 3 touchdown passes. Rankin, Hood, and Gassa all collecting those from Bennett Newman, and we got a Bennett Newman 1-yard out touchdown run. Referees getting things going again. Got Parks at quarterback of the Warriors. We've seen him making things happen with his feet. He's back, looking to pass, looking to make it working in the air, and he's got a receiver off his hands. Not going to be happy about that. I think Parks wanted to put a TD pass on his side, and he had a receiver open in the middle of that Dolphins defense, but couldn't make the connection.
These young guys are getting a push on the front line, too.
Getting a push. So is that so it's with all of the tomfoolery going on here, is it actually 4th down?
I believe it is.
All right, so the sticks have been right once in a while, so we're going to call it 4th down. We'll see if the Dolphin defense right now is sniffing a shutout. Parks trying to put the Warriors on the board here. He's got the snap. He's back. He's looking deep. He's got a guy open. And
did he get it? No, he did not.
I think he was out. He reached for the pylon with the ball, so it was really nice pitch and catch. I think the receiver is out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. Tried to reach out that ball over the top. So I think that was, McQuell Harris with the catch. Trying to, hopefully that's right. Can't see numbers real great, but nice job by Parks getting out there to him. 38.4 seconds left. Dolphins leading 28-0.
Interesting that Lockett's on the sideline.
I think some of this is, again, the little bit of humidity in the air. He's a guy that played most of the plays here, so Parks at quarterback. Dolphins trying to get their defensive alignment squared away. This game has not been a quick game, but has been a fun game. Parks with the snap. Handoff up the middle. Met by the entire Dolphins D-line, as well as Rayton Scotemere.
Lockett's coming in the game. Warriors call a timeout.
Adrian Delviar was in the middle. And we got a
injured Dolphin.
32.2 seconds left. So again, a lot of these young guys getting some action here in the second half. We had some solid play. Again, kind of looking back at things. Of course, we always call Clayton's number a lot, and he had a lot of really nice plays where he was as the play was developing, all of a sudden shooting in there, getting the tackles. Jason Perez, great job tonight from his linebacker position, showing a new position for him and really showing a lot of potential at that position. And Nick Dale in the middle, and actually that entire D-line. I mean, really a lot of push out of that D-line tonight. Cepeda, Dale, Babanefisimi Opedele, Boubacar Berry, all in there doing their work in the middle of that line, and then letting some of those other guys. And young guys tonight, I mean, it clearly held up. So Aaron Champion, we've called his name quite a few times. Pantoja, we've called his name. Maxwell Warner. So a lot of guys contributing on the defensive side of the ball tonight. And the offensive side, again, it was the run game that put some, again, the first drive, Jolich 40 yards on the first drive before the touchdown pass from Newman to Gassa. So some good balance. We'll see some good balance out of the stats. I'm guessing that on the quarterback side, Newman is going to want to have a higher percentage, but we did see some nice throws tonight, nice connections with Hood, with Rankin. A couple things called back too on penalties. So again, those numbers could have been a little gaudier without having a few of those things wiped off the board. But I'm not displeased.
Not one bit. I'm excited for these young guys. I hope they can hold up on the shutout.
All right, so Parks taking that play clock down. Clock is not running, though. Game clock isn't. So Parks looking. He's got a guy. He's got a touchdown. And that is, I think, I don't know. Hang on.
It is Lockett.
It is Lockett. So Lockett checked back in. Got the touchdown. Used that 6'3" frame. Gives the Warriors fans something to cheer about here. And, again, those guys have looked, they look good. And you can see, again, where this team later in the year, that Parks as a quarterback, what he can do with his feet, but he's had some nice throws as well. And Lockett as a weapon on this team. Both of those guys are going to put up some numbers through the course of their CPS white season. Again, this is they're a state qualifier last year, and we expect. I gotta get my scoreboard job here. Put 6 on the board, so they're down 28-6 right now. They'll go to 1-1 on the year. Last year they finished the season 8-2, again making the state playoffs. So Parks at quarterback on the 2-point try, rolls to his right. He's going to take that himself. Let's see, and he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Champion couldn't quite keep him out of there. So 2-point conversion is good. 26.7 left. 28-8. Again, thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. We know high school football sometimes is not necessarily the quickest game, but we're rolling at 9:40 right now, so not too bad. Not too bad.
A little tough when you got a 7 a.m. flight up to Minneapolis, St. Paul for.
Let's get in a little McAllister plug for Kenny Clayton here. So give us the scoop.
Got to look at the schedule because I want to say Minnesota Morris, but I think that's game 2.
You can just make it up, but
I'll
fill for a little bit. I'll fill, and you. So anyway, so Joseph Clayton, I would call out his name, number 33 for the Whitney Young Dolphins. His dad, Scott Clayton, next to me. Kenny Clayton, who went to De La Salle, if I'm correct, right? So De La Salle, and he is at McAllister College in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I was right. It's Minnesota Morris.
Minnesota Morris. So they play some nice football up there, definitely. So going up for Kenny's game. It's an onside kick. This was worked on yesterday at practice. Nice job, Brandon Dockett. So do what you need to do there. Dockett's got some speed. I remember Dockett 3 years ago returning the first kick of the season for a touchdown. Maybe not first kick of the season, but so Dockett's got some wheels and also did the smart play there. Another smart play on special teams. So I'm going to give you some numbers here. Brian Barrett, father of 4-star long snapper Ben Barrett, on the stats tonight. Newman, 7 of 17 tonight for 113 yards, 3 touchdowns. Another super important stat, 0 interceptions. Parker finishes the night. Well, the 1 interception was Luke Yolich. That was on the trick play. So there was an interception that was thrown tonight. Newman now in our favorite formation, the victory formation, takes a knee. Clock will run out here. And so the Dolphins go to 1-1 on the year. They're happy. I see Jason Perez skipping and spinning over there. So he's looking good. I think nice job both sides of the ball tonight for Coach Dan Finger's team. So again, Newman 7 of 17 for 113, three touchdowns. Yolich 12 carries, 67 yards. Final totals for some of our receivers. Hood 3 catches, 52 yards and a touchdown. Rankin 2 for 58 and a tutty. Gassa 1 for 6 with a touchdown as well. So as we watch the teams come to the middle to shake hands, I want to thank you again, Scott, for being on the call tonight. Again, we'll be back on the air next week, Friday, taking on the highly acclaimed Morgan Park team, who's over at Mount Carmel right now playing. So that will be a fun game to watch. I mean, the Dolphins definitely will have a steep hill to climb. I think right now Coach Dan Finger is going to tell these guys, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the win, enjoy going to 1-0. And then we'll think about Morgan Park on Monday.
Yeah, it'll be a little family rivalry in the Clayton household. My younger brother graduated from Morgan Park.
All right, well, make him give you some points on that one. All right, so thanks again to everybody for joining us tonight on the live stream. Thanks a lot. I got again, Scott for being here, Brian Barrett on the call, Remy Vaudel. Thank you very much, sir, stepping in on the camera tonight. Again, we not necessarily the greatest vantage point. I mean, we're on the 5th row of the bleachers here, which is the highest row at Leadership Perspectives. But we appreciate all of you out there. Get yourself a Sorelli sub. Have yourself an awesome weekend. Our thanks again, Principal Ricky Harris, Whitney Young High School, the number 4 ranked high school in Illinois on the academic side. Coach Cassidy, athletic director Chris Cassidy, also coached the baseball team. Thank him for all he does for us. And also Coach Daniel Finger and the rest of the Whitney Young Dolphins coaching staff, players, managers, all the rest of it. So thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciated having you with us tonight. Have a great weekend.
Happy
Go
Labor
Dolphins.
Day.
Happy Labor Day. Thanks, everybody.